Odds is the next race of the day, and punters obviously forgiving Rostover for that run in the Blue Diamond, Steve.
Yes, Caroline, and of course she's wearing the special colours, the Volunteer Fire Brigade CFA colours. They're fundamentally yellow and red and white sleeves. From also second pick here on track. Then over the page, Rostover 210. Miraculous Miss 1400, stretching out to this trip for the first time. We're only a couple of minutes away.
We are, of course. Von Costa, a hero going around later in the day. He won this race last.
In the sires. And Abeyance seemed to meet a check, dropped out towards the end with Catwin Boy as they bounce into stride. Then Rostover was one of the first out in company with Bawadi on her outside, and Bombay Sling near the fence holding down third. A length and a half as they came up the side, and Rostover had the lead. 800 left to go. Half a length to 3/4 on Bawadi, and Domingine posted out wide. Bombay Sling on the fence, and then came Triumphant Choice in fifth. A length further back is Catwin Boy, gathering the inside, and then Geronimo Jack, Miraculous Miss, followed by Stone Black. Solomo second last on the outside, and Debayant. The Sires Field swings for home, and the favourite on top. It's Rostover first into the straight from Bawadi. Right behind them then is Bombay Sling, and they're followed by Domingine pulled out, gathering, getting up on the inside, and then Triumphant Choice and Catwin Boy. The rest didn't look to be doing enough at the 300. Rostover's bounded away from them now. She opened up 2 or 3, Bombay Sling, Bawadi, then gathering and Triumphant Choice, but it's Rostover well clear at the 120. 4 lengths to Bombay Sling, and the Star Filly finds her right form here. Rostover went down to win the size by about 3. Bombay Sling second. Nose in front of Gathering. Fourth either Bawadi or Triumphant Choice, followed closely then by Stone Black, and then came Abeyant. Behind these to finish was Catwin Boy in company with Miraculous Miss, Geronimo Jack, Sonomath, and Domingine is the last one home.
The filly returns to her best. Rostover, that was a dominant performance halfway up the straight. Stephen King still.
Size produce today. He wins it with Rostover, and she is the best filly in the country.
Oh, she is, yeah. Look, that's...
Well, a great relief for Steve Richards and the owners led by John Hymett, and well done to them. Steve, I know yesterday you're a bit reticent whether she should go, but I think she should.
Well, it's a tough call, isn't it? I guess, the old cliche, there are only 2 once, slipper, prize money at stake. I guess if money wasn't an issue, if you were a major owner and breeder, I think you probably wouldn't. You'd say, well, we're going to have a top-class filly here. She'll be next season's Gallica. She'll win the Manifold and the 1,000 Guineas. Whatever they decide, I think it's entirely up to them, and I wouldn't criticise them one way or the other. But they do have to pay $150,000, which is pretty much handing back the cheque they got yesterday, which is not easy to do.
I don't want to back her in a high-pressure race like the Golden Slipper. That was nothing but a sit sprint. She was on the right part of the track. They walked in front. I could have led. They went that slow. I thought it was win, but...
No, they didn't go that slow. It was a steady gallop, 48.4, first 800. Typhoon off air, and you said, well, that's the B graders, but who were the A graders?
Well, there was a few good 2-year-olds. Rule Saga would have won by about 5.
I think that's...
And almost won the Golden Slipper. I think if she's okay, I'll pay the 150.
But I reckon at the moment they'll pay it, and she won't run again before the Slipper.
Yeah, I don't know. Hats off to Steve Richards, though, to just make those few little changes that showed that he knows that filly. She went so bad, it was too bad to be true.
I think she went that badly.
She went shocking.
Oh, where did she finish?
Well, she went
fifth.
What price was she?
Oh, they got a check.
She went awful.
But Richard, she went as far as she did in the preview. Like, she went 1,100 metres and just gave up. Like, there was a big query there. And I reckon he was game to actually even step it out with the changes.
He was on a kicking to nothing to start there. And if she didn't win, everyone would have kicked the trainer and said, what's he doing? He's flogging a dead horse.
And I think what you said, Ron,
Okay, this is the 4th race of the day. This is the CUNY Stakes for the fillies, of course, the 3-year-old fillies, and we're around.
Mark, let's have a quick look at the totes again. $3 for Gallica on the tote. Similar across the board. That's under the odds, out to $3.70 on track.
Facing. And Lamar easing back in the early stages. Gallica first out. Goldwater immediately presses on to try and find the lead. Miss Scarlatti is away quickly, and she's going to challenge the leader early. As they go past the 1,400, Goldwater by about a length and a quarter. Miss Scarlatti to Water at the 800, led by 2 lengths. Miss Scarlatti second, 2 lengths to Gallica. A length and a half away, then Sparks Fly running 4th on the outside of Reverberates. As they swept to the turn, Miss Lily Rose edges away from the rail. Miss Darcy comes on 3. and Lamar was last, but Goldwater leads around the home turn in the Cuny, a length and a half in front of Miss Scarlatti. Then came Gallica edging a little closer. Reverberates got up on the inside. Wider then came Sparks Fly. Lamar pulls out right towards the outside. As they came along to the 300, Goldwater challenged strongly by Gallica, who put her nose in front of Goldwater. She really needs to fight here. They've kicked away there, 3 lengths in front of Lamar. Gallica on the outside. Goldwater, she won't give in. It's Gallica a nose in front. Goldwater trying to come back. Ollie's lifting on the outside here with Gallica and got her home by a nick to Goldwater. To Lamar third, Reverberates ran fourth, and then Sparks Fly, Miss Lily.
The Group 1 winner, Gallagher, takes out.
And a terrific performance from this winner, Damien Oliver. His strength and a driving finish we see yet again. Goldwater on the inside, Nashua Willer. No lack of strength there either, but Damien Oliver just getting the maximum from Gallica, and she bounces back and adds. Certainly, Caroline, there's the totes on screen. 320 pretty much across the board. Marginally better Unitab. $1.20 for Goldwater.
This race, Ollie, he's won it 7 times. Mannerism, Orsay, Northwood Plume, Ponton, Flyer Lash, Special Harmony, and now Gallica. It wasn't grand final day for her. It may be for Goldwater. But it was a good battle, wasn't it, Steve?
Yes, it was. Nash, I think, rated Goldwater perfectly. They just went at a fairly steady clip. I think the fact that Gallica was probably 2 or 3 lengths fitter from the arm at Ascot, that was the difference today. And she was able to pick her up, and Reverberates and Lamar ran on usefully. They'll probably go to Adelaide as well.
Tough fillies up the front there. I like the third horse as well. Just got no card into it whatsoever. Types of Oaks fillies, I'd suggest.
I think I think the winner might be a bit better than that. I think
She might be
good enough to come to Sydney and run in a very good
It's only
race.
a 10th start.
Yep, I think you're underselling it there. Goldwater's honest as the day is long, keeps battling on, but there's something about this winner that she's got a bit of class.
Just talking to Mick Price overnight, he's still 50-50 what he does. Australasian Oaks is coming up on March 21 in Adelaide. That's the 2,000 metre race. But on the same day, there's also a suitable race in Sydney. So I think Dave.
That was Doreen, of course, Living Legends, just up the road here from Fleming, well, just up the road from the airport, rather. And you can go and see some of these wonderful former racehorses.
$80 out to 320. Joyous, 13 to 15.
Missed it. Marvine quite slow. She settled at the end of the field. Dalyara first out. Joyous bounced well with Afterburn. There's Typhoon Tracy. And from the outside barrier, she's coming over and she's going to cross and lead them, I'd say. And she's done it pretty well. Typhoon Tracy from Dalyara, who just wants to kick up and keep her working a little bit. She's serious before the turn, little length and a half after Burn. Dalyara on the fence in third, placing Eskimo Queen a length away fourth. Followed running right to Eldana. She commands and Joyous as they corner. They're followed Marvine getting up on the inside after missing the start. Then Origami Miss. Distinctive Lass was next. Prima Nova well back. Typhoon Tracy corners in front of Afterburn. Dalyara waiting on a run behind the leader. Eskimo Queen coming on. Then came Eldana. Marvine was battling, and then Joyous. It's Typhoon Tracy, 250 to go, a length and a half. Dalyara, Afterburn, Eskimo Queen, 1 batting. Typhoon Tracy's going strongly, 150 to go. 2 lengths to Dalyara. Afterburn, Prima Nova coming home, but Typhoon Tracy too good for them. Typhoon Tracy won it by 3 lengths. Minor position, either Afterburn or Dalyara, and Prima Nova got home strongly the rail. Eskimo Queen held her place, and then came Eldana flying.
Number 7, Typhoon Tracy. She maintains her unbeaten record now, 4 from 4, and she is now a Group 3 winner as well, taking out the Shrep of Essence Trophy or the Francis Trophy.
Yeah, no, I don't think we found the bottom of her, Bruce. She's just sort of not sure where it is. She's a highly talented filly. She's
a pretty smart filly herself as well. And as I said, this is the family too of Dana Singer, who was the winner of the Stradbroke Handicap. So
Sydney barrier 16 in Melbourne. Peter Moody said, "I'll take the hard road." And she makes it 4 out of 4. What a great purchase this mare has been. Tracy's Element for John Hutchins. Hutchins Bloodstock and John and Fume getting very involved. Is one of those lovely horses to back in a race, Steve. She goes forward and she can quicken.
Yes, certainly, Bruce. That was a tremendous effort, really crossing from the outside. 48-1, first 800. That's pretty solid. I think she got all the chases off the bit. Best of the closers, Eldana, probably Flying Ruby, Prima Nova with good. Funny race, apropos of Richard's comments.
Right. Jury's still out with me. I know it's hard to knock her. She's 4 for 4, and this is another one of these 1400s at Flemington that was on pace dominated like you wouldn't believe. The second and third fillies, the give up here. Afterburn was only second up after a disappointing first up run. And look, she was 150 to 1 or whatever she was. And Dalyara is very suspect at 1,400 metres.
Right,
and they've run second and third.
I'll take you on here.
What about Prima Nova?
This filly.
Prima Nova's coming from the back up the fence here. which is a pretty good run. But I'm just saying it's on pace dominated.
Ronnie, this filly is jumping grades like you wouldn't believe. It's
I'm not potting her.
Donkey licked these. It's pricked its ears on the line. It's still had point in the tank.
Well, bring it to Sydney for the Coolmore Classic and take on Hot Danish and Judge and see how good she is.
You might say that, and you might be right, because she's inexperienced and she's taking on something like Hot Danish, who's in the peak of her career, very seasoned and outstanding there. You might be right about that, Ronnie, but I'm telling you, that's got enormous ability, that horse.
Well, Blind Freddie can tell you that. She's
you're trying to run her down.
I'm not. I'm just trying to take a little bit of hype off her.
Why?
Because I don't think she deserves the bigger hype. The big hype to being the big Group 1 Coolmore Classic favourite.
Who said that here?
No one.
Second handicap coming up, the sprint over the 1,200 metres worth $1 million, and this is a star-studded field.
To 23 to run, the biggest field since 1990 when Gold Trup was successful, and beat 23 others, 23 to face the starter. We're about 12 minutes away. Fantastic new market coming up.
It is, as I said, he's at $12. So it is very, very open, the betting here. And still another page to go with 23 runners in the new market this time around. 9-7.
Now two have come through the front. Dewporth and Fighting Fund. And Fighting Fund is riderless. Dewporth is under control. But Fighting Fund has broken through the front and he's riderless.
And now this is interesting too. A lot of these horses have been standing for quite some time, but until they catch Fighting Fund, I can't see that they would necessarily jump. He has gone round the back of the course now, but he is still on the course proper, Fighting Fund. So at this stage, they are set for a jump, but I think they'll probably just wait until Fighting Fund has been brought under control, because having a loose
jump well down towards the middle and away quickly was Time Thief, and Swiss Ace was away brilliantly. Also Fist of Fury showing some speed with Aichi down to the inside, and they all fan towards the inside of the course. Swick easing over the hills. He wants to come to the middle of the track now. 900 metres to go, and Swiss Ace went up and took the lead here from Burdekin Blues and Aichi down on the inside, and right behind them is Seventh Rock and Time Thief getting into a good place, followed by Stands Out the Rail, and then Typhoon Z improving his place to be just off the leading horses, trailed by Northern Meteor, Fist of Fury, Orange County. Further back, Scenic Blast getting up near the inside, followed by King Hoke, Secret Flyer. Largo Ladders well back in the field from Tramontana. Swick down the middle of the course came Grand Duels, and behind him then is Triple Honour, and they're followed by Red Element, Absolute Glam and Undue. Down towards the 300, Swiss Ace has been tackled by Aichi. Their three lengths, Burdekin Blues can't go on. Scenic Blast getting into the clear, and then Northern Meteor, Swiss Ace and Aichi fighting it out with now Scenic Blast coming at them. Aichi hit the lead at the 100. Scenic Blast mows him down. Swiss Ace comes back, but Scenic Blast won the new market from Swiss Ace, Aichi. Northern Meteor flashed home for fourth, and just behind them then was Fist of Fury, Swick, and then Dewporth, followed by Absolute Glam, Tramontana. Further back in the Crown Newmarket.
The Lightning Stakes and the Oakley Plate winner, they run 1-2 here. Scenic Blast, that's his second Group 1 of this autumn, and he's taken out the Crown Newmarket for Stephen Arnold, and he just mowed down the
Lightning. They've won the Newmarket. No luck in the Oakley Plate in between, as Caroline mentioned, beating the Oakley Plate winner. So the major sprint race form holds up here. 82 and 15. Slow-mo of the finish again. Scenic Blast just getting the measure of Swiss Ace again, who faced the breeze and did all the work. What an effort.
Oh, just stoked, super ride again by Steve, and he was at a wall of horses in front, but just picked a nice passage, and we were super win.
Just so similar to what happened here in the Lightning, wasn't it?
Sorry. Yeah, he got back, and I sort of said to Steve before the race, you can't really ride him any different, even though it's a big field. You don't want to be sort of all over the speed, so we're going to have to need luck, and luckily we got it.
Yeah, very seriously at the chat, they're taking on this challenge. Seriously at the chat, they're taking on this challenge of Royal Ascot.
Yeah, we are.
Take out the Lightning, and now also the Newmarket. And what odds we talked about when he won the Lightning there for Australians such as Scenic Desire in the same season, a Melbourne Cup winner and a Lightning Stakes winner. Now he's also got a Newmarket winner too, Steve.
Remarkable stuff. 1:08.75 if you've bet on the time there.
He ended up not that far off them, but always had a little bit of traffic. But he's the sort of horse that he from the 600 metre mark he toes you into it, so you can sort of go where you want a bit. And he's another good turn of foot today. It's excellent effort.
Like to go over market winner, and he becomes a competitor at Royal Ascot, landing some massive bets, 75,000 each way. Thanks very much. You can work that out times 13. Swiss Ace, the Oakley Plate winner, ran right up to it again, beaten, but filling out by Craig's man.
Were able to kick, break them up a little bit. That allowed Stephen Arnold to get through. I thought in a field of 23 from gate 2, he'd never get out Stephen Arnold, but wrong again, as happens so often. Terrific run there, just crossing the line. absolute glam. When we saw the first part of that vision, all that group out in the middle of the track.
By the thing that ran third, and he fought back to beat him. Obviously, the winner was a little bit too good for us, but hopefully they don't take him up to Brisbane.
I don't think he's going to rule out a bit of riding in. He jumped probably a head slow, and I had to be really aggressive, and I just couldn't go with them leaders. I ended up having a beautiful run, followed Typhoon Z. At the 400, I come off its back. I felt, if he lets down and shows that good turn of foot that he has, I was going to win the race. But he just ground away. It was a courageous performance, and he never stopped trying to the line.
Yeah, it just seemed like the inside kept getting away and the outside were trying, but they just were making no ground. I think you got to be honest, I think it played a big advantage towards horses on the inside.
But probably Anthony Cummings feels a little bit hard with Duporth. He was there at the same time with Scenic Blast, and Stephen Arnold got the ride. Duporth really finished off extremely well and comes back to Sydney for the Canterbury Stakes. Northern Meteor goes to the Canterbury Stakes as well. Mr. Fury, John
The hero is here. 8.40 on the tote. Here's the market where Heart of Dreams leads the tote market from Fravashi. On course, it's the other way around. Fravashi over Heart of Dreams. Carolyn.
Thank you very much. The next also has been pushed back 5 minutes. So looking at race 7, of course, the Cadbury Guineas, the Group 1 for the 3-year-olds, and Fravashi, yes, Bruce said $3, Heart of Dream. Leamington right on start time for the Ranvet Guineas, and Von Costa de Hero on top, $12 into $11, bit of specking there. Fravashi still is the favourite, $3.10, $3.80 for Heart of Dreams. Most of them seem to be loaded into the gates here on start time, the revised start time for the Cadbury Guineas. Here's Greg Miles.
Immediately. Centennial Park a little bit slow to move. Trust Us bounced away with Heart of Dreams, Dr. Doots and Lucky Thunder, all beginning quickly. Von Costa de Hero went right back to last. And as they sort out their order, Fravashi is going on trying to find the lead here. It's a real battle for the lead. He's having to do some work, but he eventually finds it. So Fravashi leads. Golden Dubai, Lingro and Bartoldi a length and a half away. About 900 to go now. And here the leader is Fravashi. McAvoy just tries to steady it down a bit, but he has stretched the field out a little at the 800 metres. A length in front of Golden Dubai, a length to Trust Us, a half to Heart of Dreams, and 2 lengths to Dr. Doots. Lucky Thunder next on the inside, and then came Eagle Falls, 1.5 Centennial Park, and they're trailed by Nakoni, about 8 or 9 from the leader, and then Huxon, Von Costa de Hero and Bartoldi. So the Guineas field on the swing for home. Fravashi in front of Golden Dubai, Trust Us waiting, Heart of Dreams eases out for a clear run, then Lucky Thunder, Dr. Doots is running on, Eagle Falls is coming down the outside, and further back Nakoni out very wide here. It's Fravashi at the 300 being tackled by Heart of Dreams, Eagle Falls, Lucky Thunder, Nakoni winding up, Heart of Dreams got to the lead though at the 200 metres from Fravashi. Running on now is Von Costa de Hero down the outside, but Heart of Dreams is clear. Newitt keeps him going. He's a length and a half in front, and Heart of Dreams takes the Guineas from Von Costa de Hero. Lucky Thunder a length and a half away third from either Fravashi or Nakoni, and then Eagle Falls, and they're followed further back by Huxon. And behind those to finish was Dr. Doots, Centennial Park, Golden Dubai, Trust Us Stride from Craig Newitt delivers the Group 1.
It was well done to Craig Newitt. It's been a tumultuous week for Craig Newitt losing his father, of course, last week, and he's now ridden a Group 1 winner here with Heart of Dreams. The Shower Heart Gelding outdoing some of the blue-blooded colts here, and Craig Newitt.
For Craig Newitt, Mick, I know you've been saying this all through the past week, how tough this kid is.
Yeah, well, it is. He rode super in the Newmarket, and look, it's more about Craig, isn't it? I'll be sort of speaking on his behalf. I suppose he's happy to just get over next Tuesday and back into it. But it just shows you how tough that kid is. He had his plan. He wanted to just dig out and be with Trust Us and use Trust Us to take him into the race. That worked perfect. It was his idea, and just beautifully timed. And all credit to him.
Pretty painless.
You can hopefully pick it up in the background, but almost every person standing around the mounting yard, Craig waves to the crowd. There's a real buzz to this crowd, and this is extraordinary as they all stand and applaud him almost to a single person. So great reception for Craig Newitt.
Yeah, keeping control.
Tribute to your father, Guy. Well done, Craig.
Thanks, Bruce. I rode this horse last start at Caulfield and got off him, and I said to my old man there and then that they wouldn't beat him today, and I'm sure he helped.
Well, you fulfilled your part of that today. The emotions went over the line. You looked to really just take it in there, Craig.
Yeah, Bruce, I was going to win a long way out, and I've got great faith in this horse. He's always shown Group 1 ability, and I felt I was going to win a long way out, so I had time to soak it up.
Great support, $3.80, $1.70, $3.60 to $3.80 on track. There's the totes. Big divvities, big racing coming up from Ranvet.
Fantastic this year. That was good. This was easier, no doubt, Craig. It looked easy. I suppose we'll show a vision of the early part of the race when it wasn't so easy, but it looked easy once you got there.
Yeah, Bruce, I just I was very confident in the horse. I've always been very confident. I always knew he was a Group 1.
Well, just talk us this little bit of part of the race because it looks pretty willing. You're one out there.
Yeah, well, I drew Barry too, so I was always pretty right as long as I had Trust Us inside me to stay off the fence. But just around the first bend, it got a bit willing. The two outside runners coming across.
As a jockey, what's your thoughts on what it feels for you?
Yeah, well, that's basically the only one person that I thought of in those few strides after the line was the old man.
Because he's always there, isn't he? He was always at the races. He was always at the track in the morning. He was in the car driving with you.
He was. He lived for the races. His whole life was about the races, and I basically lived his dream. He
throughout the race. So it was a good test, and that probably brought Ravashi undone. Heart of Dreams clearly the dominant performance in the race. Von Costa de Hero, I know he's a little maligned, but his run was pretty good. I mean, you look at his record, all these wins have come on tracks with a bit of give. You know, he can still pick up a decent race somewhere along.
Saying that Craig developed a plan. He put Favashi out of his comfort zone in the first 200 metres. Second up there. Fravashi, I think it backfired. I think he made the right decision going forward.
Had to do a bit of work to get there.
Had to. There was perception that there was plenty of bias leading into this race, and I think Kieran rode to the bias and it backfired on the horse. In talking about
on track, Nicanero and Master O'Reilly both at $10. Blue Tigeroo $26. Fumicino $71. Scenic Shot $31. Borghurst $31. And Preeminence, the 3-year-old, the lone 3-year-old, is a $16 chance.
$15 quite. Arapo missed right out to 50 to 1. Zagreb, as I said, he was the absolute standout outside Thesio, who just looks incredibly fit. But Zagreb, listed winner last campaign, and he's had some bad luck through his race.
And Thesio jumped well on the inside. Zarita got away with him and rode to rock away fast. And Newitt's pulled the whip on the 3-year-old Preeminence. He really wants to get up there and be part of the early action. He drives on and he tackles Thesio and runs to the front. So it's now Preeminence 2 lengths in front. Thesio second, 2 lengths away in third came Zarita. Preeminence 1,000 metres to go, led by a length. Thesio stalks him everywhere. 2 lengths away, Road to Rock, Zarita on the rails. A length and a half to Borghurst, a length to Zagreb, Fiumicino, Blue Tigeroo, and then Scenic Shot. Master O'Reilly next on the outside of Nicanero, and Arapaho Miss is last of all. Now the Darley Australian Cup field is swinging for home, and it's Preeminence the leader. Thesio's been right there every step of the way. He's had a good run, the favourite. Road to Rock comes out 3 wide. They're on the swing for home now. They're being followed by Zarita in behind the leading horses with Zagreb and Borghurst handy enough. Swinging for home now. Preeminence headed by Thesio, and Road to Rock goes with the favourite. Zarita's right behind them, waiting. No run at the moment. Zagreb comes on. Road to Rock with Thesio having a fight on his hands. Nash pulled the whip. Thesio, Road to Rock, 2 lengths in front of Zagreb. Then Nicanero coming home. Thesio finds it's the front at the 100 metres. Drew a length. Zagreb is coming with Nicanero. They're closing on Thesio. They hit it. Thesio last, I think, to beat Nicanero and Zagreb. Photo finishes. Behind those to finish the Rita, Scenic Shot, Master O'Reilly. Further back, Arapaho Miss. And they were trailed then at the head of...
Thrilling race, the Darley Australian Cup. The camera is Thesio. Will wait on the bob. Maybe it's not. On the outside, it is Nicanero that has taken out the Darley Australian Cup with a great run. You can see being pushed right out the Australian Cup.
Yes, a 5th Group 1 win for this extraordinary horse. I think we went through his record last week. Number 10, Zarita, and then just behind them, Scenic Shot.
Looking at that replay, he just had his head down, Thesio, but Nicanero on the outside just had that inch on him. And
one triumph for David Hayes, 1st and 3rd. Thesio Gallant running 2nd. Disappointment for Connections there, but a tremendous...
Oh, and all the connections, David.
Yeah, just fantastic. You know, he runs every distance now, doesn't he? But we thought he might...
In a week, 5 in his career. He started in 29 Group 1 races, this horse, Nicanero. He won his first start in the maiden. He got beaten his first start. Won his next 5, went straight into a Group 1, which was the Cadbury Guineas of that year, won by Almaha. We've underestimated him. You watch that over and over again. He absolutely made it his race. It was a brilliant performance, Steve.
Responded very well to Craig too in the closing part of the race when he got to the outside, which seems to be the Speed of the horse, pretty remarkable, isn't it? I think something like 15 first 4 finishes in Group 1 races. It failed at 2 previous 2,000 metre runs back in 07. But too strong yesterday. I think there's two ways of looking at it. It wasn't the greatest Australian Cup ever run, probably bar an informed horse like Thesio, but let's also balance that with Thesio's biggest test to date, ran 5th in the Cox Plate. He didn't win the Cox Plate. Blanket finish. There isn't much between about the first 8 here. These aren't great horses. He's a wonderful horse, Nicanero. He's a wonderful horse, there's no doubt. But he's not.
He's won 3
He's
million.
not Vo Rogue, Better Loosen Up, Superimpose.
No. What about
wonderful old horse? And sometimes in stables, a horse just comes along at a period in time when you think, well, thank God he's there. I know Mummify was like that for Lee. Is Nicanero a bit like that for you?
Oh, we've got Sir Greb, Richard.
Oh,
hello. Look at that there. There's 2 horses, the best 2 weight for age horses around, and that's Sir Greb in the middle there, Ronnie.
But that wasn't the answer. That was
a lot more pressure in this race.
Yeah, and look, that's, very well thought out plan, but do you think he'd get that far back, Nicanero?
Yes, because the instructions, we worked our tactics that he was going to ride impatiently.
A lovely, lovely ride and very strong on the...
David alluded to this at the start, and the viewers not sure what David was alluding to. Zagreb, we've got to be careful how I say this. Zagreb is not one of your favourite horses. You've said it on this show. You've got
What, did he actually win this race? Or he might have won it if they put a big hurdle there at the 100-metre mark and he would have lodged over.
You would have had heart palpitations there.
Turn coming towards the end of Super Saturday. One more race to go. Who Got You is the favourite, returning, of course, from a hoof abscess that has interrupted his autumn camp.
Who Got You, $2.40 out to $2.70 here on track. Is still favourite at that quote. No other significant action from the ring at this stage.
So for all the connections, they want to get the most out of it. But this one should hopefully start within a minute or so of the set start time, even though, as I said, there are still quite a few of the...
Pinnacle's a little slow down on the inside. Lord Monty was away brilliantly. He bounced in front of Rock Pecker and going forward Mr. Baritone, and they're followed by Sharkbite in 4th placing. Then Pinnacles in the orange silks down on the inside, a length Eskimo Dan, then the favourite Who Got You. On the home turn, Lord Monty trying to do it all. Rock Pecker on his outside. Craig Williams going for 4 for the day. A length and a half away coming into it then Mr. Baritone. Over on the inside, Pinnacles. Who Got You right on the back of Mr. Baritone, about to peel for his run. Then Sharkbite and poised to win out wider. Lord Monty at the 400, tackled by Rock Pecker, Mr. Baritone. Who Got You starting to wind into his work now. Pinnacles can't get a run at them. Rock Pecker hit the front at the 200. Rock Pecker going for home, a length in front of Mr. Baritone. Who Got You and Pinnacles getting the run. Rock Pecker narrowly. Who Got You winding up. Pinnacles to fetch. Rock Pecker. Who Got You. Rock Pecker and Who Got You. Bobbing go. Maybe Rock Pecker. Who Got You on the outside of him. Pinnacles 3rd. And Mr. Baritone battled on strongly 4th. Then Eskimo Dan, Serera, Accumulate, Bird Dancer. Further back in the field then, Sharkbite, Lord Monty dropping out.
Side, it is Rock Pecker. Who Got You making a dive at him on the line, but have a look at that photo. There is...
Who Got You a bit flat at the 300. He responded to Michael Rodd, just fails to pick up Rock Pecker. Pinnacles, who was held up earlier in the degree.
Yeah, look, he may have got the main race wrong, but he had a go, and his confidence wasn't zapped here. He had a go in the last. He had so many close finishes yesterday. Yeah. And look, a good win here, another 1,400-metre on-pace finish. This was the run of the day. This is a real horse, number 2.
Well, if 3-year-old giving 4 kilos to older horses, to an older horse in Rock Pecker, who's a tough, sprinter, and... I thought his run was excellent as well. You couldn't have been happier with Who Got You, and he'll be on his way.
Well, this is the fastest last...
And he'll be on his way.
Well, this is the fastest last 600 of the day, and this horse has come from off the speed in a 1,400-metre race, Alf. So all goes well for Sydney, I'm suggesting, for Who Got You.
The way the horse did stretch out late. Goes to Sydney now, goes to 1,500 metres in the far lap.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder what his best distance is.
Supermarket Silver Slipper Stakes over 1,100 metres for the 2-year-olds. More joyous. Well, she opened $1.35 here, $1.20 on the tote, Rich. Yeah. The stakes, here's Mark for the call.
Thanks, Caroline. Well, you don't really like to see that with the plate, do you? I know a lot of them get home after they're replated. And the favourite jumped okay. Or she's bucking. More Joyous. She's gone right back to the tail of the field, and she is out of business. More Joyous. Here's a sensation today. More Joyous is bucked and is out of the race. It's Classic Rush taking it up and went to the lead from Melito, followed by She's the leader. led by about 2 lengths. In second spot, Melito. On the outside, Coco Karingal third, followed by Sunday Rose. And then came One More No More as they turned for home, where Classic Rush in front of Melito is stalking it on the outside and looks to be full of running. And Melito raced up to take the lead. Sunday Rose is going after it now, and then came Coco Karingal, but Melito's the leader. Sunday Rose on the outside, starting to knuckle down. A Workers coming after Melito. Melito's in front by a length. Sunday Rose can't get there, and Melito will win the Silver Slipper. Melito went on to win from Sunday Rose, and One More No More got up for third. Then Classic Rush, Coco Karingal, Love Me Like a Rock, Love Conquers All, and More Joyous came out bucking and was pulled up shortly after the start by Nashawilla. Well, a sensation in the Silver Slipper.
What odds that? 2 races. Alito, what a super little filly she is too. Right here, she gets her head down. Something is really... In fact, her girth is slipped back. The saddle slipped. You can see the girth is right back under her flank, and that has stirred the filly up. So she has every reason to be as upset as she is because the saddle has slipped. Rose, a really good run, but Melito...
For one, but what we can explain is that
She was very fractious in the yard. She was very much sweating up. She had to get reshot. The farrier had to have attention to the off-four plate. She stood there for a few minutes while they attended to that. She was very sweaty, very much sweating up, but $1.40 into $1.35, that takes one hell of a lot of money. There was big bets according to the boys at Sporting Bet. And, well, she jumped, she went a little bit, and you can see clearly in the graphic here on TVN that the saddle slipped straight back. And Nashawilla does an unbelievable job to stay on board. I hate to think, Bruce.
But obviously the story was more Joyce. Melito there, $5.50, second favourite, got away with it. Reduced choice filly, valuable as a yearling, more valuable now as a racehorse, and into the Golden Slipper. And nothing wrong with her win, nonetheless.
No, Bruce, she's a lovely filly. We made her a black book after her first start. She was on a heavy track first up, and she was very...
For the Golden Slipper. More Joyce remains favourite there at $5 over Real Saga at $6. Melito, Rich yesterday firmed up into $7.50. Are they?
It's deflating when you got the slipper favourite and you're trying to qualify for the race. Look at the saddle go back here.
Yeah, but the saddle went back after she started bucking. You
no way in the world.
Just replay that out of the gates.
Are you for real?
No, have a look. Just wait till you see it out of the gates in close up. That saddle moved back a long way after she started bucking.
So, Richard, on that, do you believe the stewards have made the right decision that More Joyous has to trial before it races?
Well, I think the stewards always err on the side of caution on behalf of the punters, but where it is, right? Yeah. It's right up behind it. Now
where is it now?
Starts to move a little bit.
And then she feels it. She feels it up her ribs.
Yeah, I think it started... It was a lot more exaggerated by the bucking
She's a foolproof filly who doesn't do a thing wrong, and that is caused by a saddle shifting upper ribs there.
So she should
because it can race in.
Well, it's not the ideal situation. Gay wanted to run her next in the slipper because she's not, she doesn't carry a lot of weight. Yeah. So it's not. She's got to trial, run, qualify, and then run in the slipper. Does she deserve to be favourite now? I'm not so sure for a horse that's...
One of our feature races. We're around 18 minutes from start time. The horse is just coming into the yard. Looking at what's happening here on course, Rebel Raider is out to $41. The
feature the Hobartville #1 Rebel Raider is $41. Seuss is at $41. Youthful Jack's been heavily backed here, $3.10 into $2.80. Mac $4.20. Rock Kingdom $7. Rhino Chaser at $26. The Astronomer $51. Barchia Moore, 41. Marchinsky, 21. Over the wicket at 31. And the
put it here, 310 into 280, 250 on the tote. Micmac got to 440 after he opened 350 into 420. Still overs at 570 in New South Wales. So they're the main ones in the market. Rock Kingdom's been well supported. 750 into $6, back to 6. Racing now, over the wicket, stayed in the stalls, missed it by a couple of lengths, and Rock Kingdom was fired out from the inside gate and went to the lead. Marchinsky's coming across very quickly, and Micmac, the Victorian, was out of the stalls well, and he settles just in behind the speed. Then we've got Rhino Chaser, who's up very close, followed by Desuetude, Youthful Jack back on the inside. And then we go around the first corner now with 900 metres to go, and Marchinsky led from Rhino Chaser is showing surprising dash going up on the outside. He's racing a little bit fresh. About 2 to Rock Kingdom, and then came Micmac, followed by Youthful Jack going up underneath him. Desuetude is next, and then came Predatory Pricer, followed by Barchia Moore over the wicket. Cayman's a long way back with the Astronomer. Sousa is second last, and Rebel Raider last of all. Marchinsky led from Rhino Chaser, who's under pressure now. Rock Kingdom comes to the outside. inside. Youthful Jack Thompson's looking for a run near the inside, and Micmac's coming down the outside. Jessitude trying to wind up, but Marchinsky giving some cheek here at the 200. Micmac's coming after him now. Rock Kingdom labours, so does Youthful Jack, and then Desuetude. It's Micmac coming up on the outside. Micmac rush to the front now in the dying stages. Coming late on the outside, Caymans and Desuetude, but Micmac remains unbeaten and wins it from Caymans and Youthful Jack. Then Desuetude, Rock Kingdom, and also Marchinsky from Predatory.
5 from 5 now for Micmac, this son of Statue of Liberty. For Blake Shin and Greg Urell, this is something special, this horse. That is a good bunch of 3-year-olds, and he's just come straight over the top of them. Number 5, Cayman is here for Blake Shin and Greg Urell. Micmac, something special.
Greg Urell's got a new star here in Micmac. He's answered the challenge at each step of the ladder, Steve. Impressive in a very hot race.
Well, it certainly was a hot race. Runner-up Caymans was good. Now, he's dealt with the 3-year-olds that we saw in Melbourne last week. Now with the Caymans form, the Youthful Jack form, he's as good as any going around, you'd have to say now.
Outstanding. And Rich, it looks as though a case it might be luck in run.
Annoying him the entire trip. The winner got the best run. Caymans drew awkwardly, had to go back. His run was outstanding. And what happened?
Is the horse. Caymans is the horse. Just looking at him in the yard and the way he finished off there, heading into the round with Guineas, he'll just take a quantum leap.
There's some pretty good horses finished at the tail end there.
Yeah.
What did you make of some there?
Oh,
Rebel
look,
Raider, the Derby
first up, and you know, look, there's a couple of stayers up the back there, Rebel Raider and Sousa. Look, I think we'll assess them after the next run because they're more Derby types.
The Garden Stakes over the 1,100 metres. The Group 3 for the 2-year-olds give us a bit of line in to the Golden Slipper, and we've got
$3 out to $3.50. Number 2, Striker. $5.50, which I think was juicy odds, into $4.60. Out. Number 8, our Joan of Arc. $5 into $4.40. So very good money for our Joan of Arc. Indian Oceans.
Well, they came out as one. Canali broke very quickly, going up on the outside, showing some speed also shortly after the start there has made it to the moon. Ready or and Striker away well. Then came Red Pointers back on the inside, 600 metres. And it's Canali on the inside and made it to the moon. They're matching strides, leading from Red Pointers back on the rail from Ready or. Striker's in fifth spot, 3 wide. Purdy's outside it. Wanted's on their back, and then came out Joan of Arc as they turned for home. It's Canali and made it to the moon. Striker coming at them strongly on the outside with Purdy, and now Wanted brought to the centre of the track by Cassidy is starting to wind up. It's Purdy the leader, but Wanted's about to go up on the outside. He's had a beautiful run in transit, and he takes the lead now in the kindergarten, and Wanted is doing best, and he's about a neck in front of Purdy coming back. Wanted dying. I think he just held on. It's very tight right on the line. Wanted was dying, and Purdy came back on the inside. It's a photo. Now, I'm not sure third. They were past the post when I got back to them. We've got our Joan of Arc, Ready or, and made it to the moon.
3:21, and there you go. It's on your screen, and what a tight finish it was. It looked like Purdy may have just bobbed at the end, but it was a nose, the winning margin, and perhaps a good point that perhaps Wanted 8 and 10 are the numbers on your screen, courtesy of English.
To win, but Wanted did win. The son of Fastnet Rock was going to win much more easily than the margin in the finish. Purdy fought back.
In the race, he just gave Wanted a slap, and he said he just half wanted to, run away from you and half pull up. But look, I think Jimmy thought he was going to win by about a length and a half. Purdy covered ground, so it's a worry. I will say that I don't know if we saw the. Well, I'm pretty sure we did.
It is from the punter's perspective. It's the sporting bet market for the Golden Slipper. More joyous. Well, the trial's on at the end of this week, and Bleedman back to ride. Her Real Saga's done nothing wrong. Melito.
Last bit. I'll be kind and say float, but he looks like a horse might think a little bit, Ronnie, and he was just sort of thinking, well, I've done enough here. I can pull up here.
Yeah, look, I agree. He reminds me, I think he's highly talented, and I think he's right in the slipper mix. He reminds me of a horse like Flying Spur. Like
he was a bit of a thinker at times.
Yeah, look, they got a little bit of, as well, if we can say it, pussycat in them, but they're just lethal on their day. I think this horse will improve, but he's a colt, and he knows he's a colt. I love this second run here, this horse, this Purdy.
Yeah, it was a good one.
He made a mid-race move when they were going. A horse I'd like to have a...
Ready for the big one of the day here, the Group 1 Chipping Norton Stakes. We'll have a little preview in a moment. Well, Viewed, the Cummings family's going all right today.
They certainly are. Bart's had a winner here, so's Anthony. We look down the board, Viewed $11, Nom de Jure at 23, Red Ruler 49, Newport $3.60. They bet $11 during the week. Get Up Jude at $40, Vision and Power $8.70, $19 Rahib, Tuesday Joy $2.60, Gallant Test at 12, and Hussey's 41 into 26, Mentality $5.50. Get Up Jude 150s out to 200s, Vision and Power 18 into 15, Rahib 12 to 14, The market mover from Sporting Bet and the favourite Tuesday Joy, 2.10 into $1.95. Heavily backed. Gallant Test at $9.50. Hurry Choice at $13.
Rahib got a fly out of one of the inside stalls, and Newport has dumped the jockey shortly after the start. Newport's out of the race. And on settling down, and Rahib went to the lead. Mentality strides up on the outside, and Tuesday Joy settles right on their hammer in third spot. Hurry Choice along the inside for 600. They come are inside that point now. Mentality by 3/4 on Rahib, and then Hurry Choice followed by Tuesday Joy. Brown's got it in a lovely spot. Nom de Jure coming to the outside, 3 wide now from Vision and Power. Gallant Tess and Viewed is held up for a run as they top the rise, and Mentality under a tight hold at the moment. Rahib goes up on the outside. Tuesday Joy tries to wind up. Now Queen Arts Mentality on the inside, but the big mare Tuesday Joy, she rushes up to hit the lead. Vision and Power comes along the inside to give chase, and then Gallant Tess. But Tuesday Joy's got their measure in the chipping, Norton, and went on to win it from Vision and Power and Gallant Tess. Then Viewed doing his best work late to run fourth from Mentality, and then sneaking up along the inside and running on was Moa Tees from Get Up Jude and Red Ruler. Then we've got further back Hurry Choice from Nom de Jure, and finishing out the back was Rahib.
10, 8, 11, 10, 8, 11, and 1 on the Patnack Farm, Chipping Norton. 10 Tuesday Joy, beautiful ride, Corey Brown. She'll take benefit. What about the run of Vision and Power? I looked and I thought, man, that's not Might and Power. No, it's Vision and Power. What a super effort in a Group 1 at the mile. 11 Gallant Tess win the Arc by.
He'll say she can win the Arc depending on who rides it. But, Gravel Starkey certainly won't be.
Well, mate. She's the winner, Frank.
Green now 10, 8, 11, and 1. We're waiting on news of Jay Ford, of course.
Well, some of our cars fall by the wayside this autumn. Let's hope that she holds together Tuesday Joy because we need her. She was a hot favourite yesterday. The punters needed her. Vision and Power's been a revelation. Gallant Test was good. Newport lost a job because of the trial. Rahib, respiratory distress, pulled up coughing there. But again, too classy, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. She's a superstar, man. She showed her versatility yesterday. It was a wonderful ride by Corey Brown. Wasn't a lot of speed on paper. Corey went forward. And where does he get? 1-1, as you'd expect. He was outstanding. Vision and Power rock.
No, a vintage weight for age field. And
well, I was going to ask you that, Ronnie, because you're the first one to look at a winning performance by what they beat and how they beat them. Now, how do you rate what's finished fairly closely behind it?
Well, it's hard to judge.
Vision and Power.
Yeah.
Now, you've known him for a long time.
Well, I have known him
Did you
for a
think
long
he
time.
was this good? Do you think he's better than he was?
But I thought that 6 starts ago, before he started putting a picket fence along his side of his name. But it's hard to judge such an informed, fit horse against weight for age horses that are probably coming through, getting ready for a carnival later. And sometimes these fit horses can catch them on the hop. And this horse nearly did yesterday, and I'm finding it hard to line him up. But he's just in such great form. I'm not.
I wasn't asking you to line him up. I'm asking you to. How do you judge the winning performance by that?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Well, we probably don't have to judge the winning performance because she'll probably go to Dubai now and then off to France. So it's not as if we have to make an assessment on Tuesday Joy as far as the upcoming carnival's concerned. But
okay, which was the stronger weight for age?
Look. The stayers went well there. Viewed's coming along very, very well for the weight for age races, and his stablemate Moa Tees is coming up nice for the handicap. So they're the horses that caught my eye. Bart's pair. And I must say,
Romnea 9 to 10, 2's out. Romnea 6 into 5. Anatomica 18 to 21. El Quello Violci at 13 into 10. Rock Me Baby, rock solid at 5. Rocha at $151. Yesterday at $15. Montana Flyer $17 into $13. Montana Flyer. We'll come back to the others. I'll tell you that Strawberry Fields, $26. Messengers, $81.
Palacio de Crystal didn't begin all that well. She went back shortly after the start, and coming out quickly was Anatomica. Led from Romney, Messengers going forward. Montana Flyer shortly after the start. Now slipping along the fence to improve Maybe I, and then came Il Quelle Veloce. Going up past it now as Glowlight Alley has gone back to near enough to last. It's Montana Flyer, the leader, taking over now clearly from Anatomica in second. Messenger third. Maybe I was next, and then came Romney. Now she's starting to make a move 3 wide. Behind them, Glow Lamp, followed by Portillo coming into it. El Quelle Veloce on the inside. Rock Me Baby's midfield and looking to come across heels to get into clear running. And Roach is on the outside of it. It's Montana Flyer in front. Anatomia comes after it, and Little Romnea starting to knuckle down to work on the outside. Portillo's running on as well. Plenty of chances here at the 200 with Romnea taking the lead. Romnea's in front. Portillo on the outside comes after it. Daly will run 1-2.
Romney, the leader. Portillo on the outside's going to dive close to home. A real head bobber here. Portillo on the outside has dived at Romney right on the post. Photo third, glow lamps there with Rocha and Rock Me Baby. Then an Anatomica followed by Aquilo Veloce, Montana Flyer, Maybe I. Then Ivory Pegasus.
Close here between the both Sheikh Mohammed horses. On the inside, number 3, Romnea, the Sporting Bet Australia market mover, and number 1 on the outside, Frank. My top pick, Portillo. 3's in front, Romnea. Portillo's still coming. Romnea's in front.
Here's the ball.
Portillo's coming. Portillo, Romneo. Oh, geez, it's very close.
They might have
very.
Portillo guns down the very brave Romnea, and Rocker Rets into third to put value into the tries. The Ivory Pegasus yesterday, not fully tested in the run. Glow Lamp held up early part of the straight. Palazzo de Crystal didn't have much luck, but Portillo, outside gate, still able to gun them down.
Yeah, wonderful ride. He had to make a long run on this girl. It's funny, Bruce, when I started doing the form for the Surround Stakes, I thought, geez, wouldn't it have been a lot easier if Samantha Miss was still there? Because she just say, well, she wins. These are the ones that can run second, third or fourth.
Look at this, the Romney would fit inside Portillo.
Have a look at that. Oh, yeah. She's not a big filly, Portillo.
Yeah. But it came and just gets the head down on the outside.
Oh, look at that.
Corey Brown again.
Exactly.
Yeah. He just got flushed out a little early on Romney, didn't he? He sort of had to cart up to the leaders, and there was a lovely opportunity for Corey just to tag on the back of her, and he made the most of it.
Probably the difference between winning and losing. Romney got into a beautiful spot, but just following the wrong horse, a horse called Messenger, who was any old odds, and it was gone before the turn. So Matty Allen had to pull out and get going, and you can't blame him for that. But she was all heart. She gave her all, Romney.
Were you surprised how small she is?
Oh, that's the shock of my life. Everything they were saying about her was true.
Well, you weren't doubting it, were you?
No, I weren't doubting it. I'm not doubting her at all. But this, you've got to give Snowden credit as well. He was out in the media saying, I've got to get this filly up and fit and ready to pounce on one of these early races, because they were thinking Samantha Miss was going to be around when the longer races come along. And he has pinched a race with a blue blood filly there, and hasn't he had a day out?
And Palazzo de Crystal is one that we didn't mention there along the way. Didn't get a clear running at all. Graham Begg said, I was pretty happy considering we got held up many times.
Total forgive run.
Right. It is the Group 3 Liverpool City Cup coming up in 3 minutes. Punters over the 1,300 metres. The Group 3 all silence. The first one we'll take a look at for Graham Begg. Peter Wells has the inside draw.
Yeah, look, he won the Group 1 last time in. He'll improve from the run, but he looks nice and healthy. $7 to 6. Number 2, Woodson. Number 6, Dow Dow. $18. $18 Dow. Prince Arthur, $151. Number 8, Judged. $7 into $5.50. Good money for Judged. Chasm, $11 into 9. King Dakar.
That is number 8, Judged. You were making mention that you're very, very frightened of Judged on the back of that.
Other away. Racing, King Dakar, one of the best into stride. The grey looking for Lang is driving through. Dow's showing good speed, and Falconbridge is now starting to burst out of the pack and is up vying for the lead. So it's King Dakar, Falconbridge and looking for Lang. Dow behind them from Royal Discretion. They'll at the 750, and the leader looking for Lang, led by a length and a half. King Dakar running second, Royal Discretion is racing with its stablemate Falconbridge, and behind them El Cambio on the inside from Dow. Then there's a line of horses with Utson on the rail. Outside it is Judged, and Chasm is sitting outside them 3 deep, followed by Rainy to Win, Prince Arthur, all silent back on the rail, and last of all Cruzado. It's a looking for Lang heading up for home in front, led by over a length on King Dakar. Then Royal Discretion, followed by Falconbridge, O'Cambio getting into the clear, and then Dow and Judges are starting to hit the line nicely down the outside. Falconbridge took the lead from El Cambio, then Dow and Judges is joining in as well on the outside. 4 chances here with El Cambio and Falconbridge, joined by Judged on the outside. Judge comes up and hits the lead, and Judge got the money. Judged has won it from El Cambio and Falconbridge, and then Dow, followed by King Dakar. Then came All Silent, Royal Discretion, Cruzado and Chasm Utson, followed by
a market mover salutes. James Arthur Cassidy. Yeah, he's not 21, but he's riding like a sparkling teenager. $5.
3, 11 and 6. Judge, the Sporting Bet Australia market mover. We've had a few of them today.
Landed some good bets there, Judge. Continue the great run for Joe Pride and for Jimmy Cassidy. You have to watch this race a few times for the future. P. Wells reprimanded there for shifting out sharply for mine and causing an incident with Chasm in the head-on. You'll see that. Thought he was quite lucky there. Tested for poor judgment, but not so for the winner, Judged.
Oh, she's a good girl. Her first up run was good with a big weight, 59.5 on a wet track, back on top of the ground and the pump. But when she is ridden quiet, she can let down. Now, there's a few good runs here.
Let's watch this, Rich.
All silent, yeah, back comes out behind Judge. Bang. Chasm.
Reprimand.
Yeah, he gave it a bit of a bump, Peter Wells, on all silent. And look, all silence heading towards the Doncaster. And you thought he'd get here last spring carnival. He's in for a real big autumn. Falconbridge.
Interesting race, wasn't it? All silent, 54 in the Doncaster. Who Bugotchi's got 54 in the Doncaster?
Oh, it's going to be a cracker.
Mm.
Well, look, I think you can back the first 5 across the line here with confidence. Any one of these first 5 across the line could win a Doncaster. Believe me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a serious form race. Judge may have had the advantage of having had the one run back and being down the limit. But these other horses, El Cambio, he's a serious horse who looked way above himself to my eye.
Normally, you'd say bunched finish, no form.
Bunch finish, plenty of form here.
Okay,
bunch finish, plenty of form.
Falconbridge is a stayer.
Yeah, but he's a horse on the ride.
And All Silent. Look at All Silent.
Well, I watched All Silent. I never thought he sort of really looked comfortable.
Well, look at him coming out here. He gets completely knocked off.
Yeah, I just didn't think he looked comfortable before that. It's sort of like he's just lacking a bit of match practice, and that he'll improve a fair bit with that run.
Fine. He's fine. Graham Begg's a master at getting a horse right in the day.
Yep.
Well, he's booked overnight Damien Oliver to take the ride on the 21st in the Canterbury Stakes, right through Doncaster and George Ryder in the middle of those.
Stand by. They're off and racing now. Madame Padrille wasn't the best in stride, but she's picking herself up and gathering speed very quickly to go through and take the lead easily now. Led from Mary's Grace. Hot Danish starting to roll forward, but she's out a little bit wide early on. Chinchilla Rose going through in the centre to keep her out there. And then came Subtle, led by about 2 lengths on the top weight, Hot Danish. And then Mary's Grace third on the inside. Chinchilla Rose a length away fourth. Then Subtle Cove racing with Sequinella. Back on the inside, Absolutely Fabulous. Then All About Us racing with it. 2 lengths to Benicia. And back last of all is Very Grand. They've come past the 600, running up to the 5. And Madame Padrille, the leader. Hot Danish has to do the chasing with the top weight, 61. And then came Mary's Grace, Chinchilla Rose. And further back behind them next is Subtle Cove and Sequinella. Cassidy starting to ride Madame Padrille along. Hot Danish with the big waiters coming after her quickly. And she looms up on the outside. And this fantastic mare shoots to the front, 61 kilos and all. And she shoots for victory. Absolutely Fabulous comes after down the outside. Hot Danish is in front. She's much too good in the run to the post. And Hot Danish won it from Absolutely Fabulous. Mary's Grace got third. Then Madame Padrille followed by Subtle Cove. Then we've got Benicia.
She's a superstar, ladies and gentlemen. She's the star of the show. Hot Danish, 61 kilos. She toyed with the opposition in the wiggle quality. Started $3.80 on track. So much she was so badly weighted. She was giving horses who she'd only beat a length and a quarter 7 kilos today, but she was too good. But
I would say about her, she gave everything a minimum of 7-8 kilos in the run. She had 61 yesterday. She's got 53. Count at 53 in the Doncaster. She's going to be the one to beat in the Coolmore. Eskimo Queen better in the race last year. Just a beauty.
She was 0.34, Steve, outside the track record held by Grand Armine. She had 61 kilos. They were going to hold a 3 deep. Timmy Clark said, please. Straight up outside Madame Padrille, who'd just won the Trisco a fortnight earlier by 5. She's class. And the second horse is Honest, absolutely fabulous. We saw her during the spring as well, but she's a genuine superstar, this girl.
It's launched into her at the $3.80.
$4 they bet, Steve. Best fluctuation, started $3.80. There was something there for the kids. Look, personally, I would have rather the second horse win, but...
I reckon it's one of the great furphies. I know it's an age-old axiom in racing, weight stops trains. Weight stops slower trains.
Exactly right.
If I'm simply that much better than you, give me a couple of extra kilos, it won't matter.
See, she took
300 kilos and you put 302 on it and you can't lift it.
Because he shouldn't have lifted the 300 beforehand. Straight to the 302.
Let's have a look at the Doncaster Mile Market and what a race this is going to be. We've touched on a couple of horses already, All Silent, who'd been favourite last week, remains favourite over Hot Danish and Who Bugotchi. Caymans we'll see next week, Alan.
Hot Danish.
Best mare in the country, no doubt about that. But that includes Tuesday Joy too, who's right there with her. But she might be the best horse in the country. Gee, she's great. I mean, the weight she carried, the way she raced, the way she... the time she ran, the way she grounded out, that's just class.
She's a champion to my eye because the champion.
You back her every time.
I back her every time she goes around, and she puts food on the table. You could say it that way. But look, she stalked the leader here with the weight. As you say, they're running 0.4 outside a real course record, a Grand Army course record. She takes a second and a half off the race record. Everyone says, oh, she was stopping on the line. She's entitled to stop.
You can't carry 61 kilos.
She rode it like a good thing.
Start the field up to the leader, and then go on and win the race and not get a little tired. Surely she's allowed to get a little tired on the line.
I love her.
All right. I can't wait for the clash, Typhoon Tracy and her in the Coolmore. It'll be a cracker.
Bring it on. Bring it on, baby.
Andrew, don't go back in that in. You'll be taking odds about one that's having its 5th start in the race against one of the most seasoned stars in the country.
No, I'm only stirring Ronnie up.
Ronnie, one thing I can say, we love her down here too.
Yeah, she's a ripper.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right. Now, the Adelaide Cup's on tomorrow.
Oh, Alf will be there.
Yeah, Alf will be there, and so will Hilton Donaldson calling all the action. Banana Man's the favourite. It's wide open, doesn't it? Miss Pavlova and Ranvet. Century 21, and of course other big races there include the Yalambee Stakes and the Irwin Stakes.
Good race.
We wish them all the best there for the big Adelaide Cup day tomorrow.
Champagne Harmony.
Yeah, you're on to it. You're doing it.
Champagne
Watch it tomorrow.
I can tell you that on track, this has been a really good go here, Champagne Harmony. The Adelaide bookmakers underestimated her. $3.80 they bet. She's now into $2.50. She's taken over as favourite ahead of Augusta Proud.
And Carilla was slow to begin, and first away, Cerberus Gal out wide looking for the lead from Champagne Harmony. Up to third, Ziz. Augusta Proud's going to be handy. Then Very Discreet, who's on the inside there as they run by the 1,000 metre mark. A gap of 2 lengths away, Outlandish Lad back, led by a length on Champagne Harmony. Third, Augusta Proud, then Ziz, Very Discreet. Cardinal Virtue outside of her. Exalted Keytar sticks to the inside from Carilla and Outlandish Lad. On the home turn in the Yalambee Classic, 500 metres to go. It's Cerberus Gal and Champagne Harmony, the margin of neck. Augusta Proud tracking them third, 3 deep. Now coming on is the Cardinal Virtue from Very Discreet Ziz. Exalted Keytar's well back with Carilla Outlandish Lad. It's still Cerberus Gal. Champagne Harmony on the outside, yet to be really called upon. She's coming now. Very Discreet runs to third. No, Augusta Proud. Champagne Harmony goes to the lead from Cerberus Gal. Then Very Discreet and Champagne Harmony. Too strong, won by a length on a quarter. Cerberus Gal second and neck third. Very Discreet fourth. I'd say Carilla. Just in a photo from Cardinal Virtue. Close up Ziz. Augusta Proud did get a little tired in the straight from Outlandish Lad.
Champagne Harmony, the market mover, 380 into 250. She's been far too good for them. $2.80 winner, 4 starts, 3 wins. Mark Kavanagh could have a little star in his hands here. She is smart.
From the running with Miss Pavlova also at $8, 13 minutes away from the running of this year's Adelaide Cup. Billy Egan has dismounted. He's had a quick chat with the connection. He's about
6 into 5. Zavit, 650 into 5 as well. Equal favourites, numbers 1 and 2 at $5. Century 21, 650 into 6. Back out to 650. They really are the 3 numbers 1, 2 and 4.
In the cup. And Rick Bat showed out from wide out, away nicely on the inside, ridden up hard in the early part. Is going forward there. Zavit driving along the inside also with Sister Sweet. So Sister Sweet and Rick Bat go together around the first turn. Why do you ask? Go by a length and a half. Second is Sister Sweet. 2 lengths away, Zavit. Vicello the inside. 2 away came Century 21. Banana Man. He's about 6 off the lead on the rails. And then 2 lengths to 4D. Followed by Kerr Dem. Then came in the centre, Glistening. Foolish Lad pulled out 3 wide, but struggling a little. Then the Yachts getting over on the rails, followed by Cuban Girl, Brad Star, Spirited Express. A long way first to last. We've got also from Good Red, Miss Pavlova's off the bridle. 2 away, Art Success. And last of all is Ladies in Luck. They come up to the home turn. 500 metres left to go in the Adelaide Cup. And Sister Sweet raced up on the outside, but Zavit got the split, went between them and cruised to the lead. It's Zavit coming around the home turn in the Adelaide Cup. Out by 2 lengths. Century 21, Vicello. Down the outside, Kurdem's running on well. And wider out on the track, Brad Star and 4D. But Zavit dashed for home. 200 metres to go in the Adelaide Cup, led by 4 lengths. Kerdem second, then came 4D, followed by Spirited Express. Banana Man over on the inside, but Zavit's going to be too good in the Adelaide Cup. Zavit scored by 2 3/4 lengths. Second placing, Kerdem Photo third. Might be Banana Man, a nose to 4D out very wide. Between them, but missing out, Spirited Express. One of the tail enders with Cuban Girl in 3:22.71.
Sisson Cup today. It's the Adelaide Cup for number 2, Zavit. Natural Willer for Anthony Cummings, 5:22.30.
Well placed by Anthony Cummings as Zavit Natural Willer. Like as I said, a big week for Nash. It won the big race in Tasmania, didn't it?
Yes, but he's thriving on his preparation this time. Zavit, Anthony's doing a very good job with him. Goes back to Sydney now for an attempt at the Sydney Cup. Terrific ride. It was just one of those.
That's Melbourne for you. Rain trialling through on it here at Flemington. And right now, sun's not far away. That was a little bit spooky there, Steve, wasn't it? We're getting set. Get the lot here. Here's the Blamey Stakes, a feature race here this afternoon, and wide the market here. Conquering leads it. The tote 460, bookies $5.50. Sailor Gurr $7.70 on course. Orange County 90. Here is the mounting yard coverage, kicking off with Sailor $7, but it's a sporting bet market mover for sure. Number 1, Sailor Gurr, because that's what the one that they don't want here. Sailor Gurr, sporting bet market mover, TAB number 1. The only time we're going to see this horse in the autumn. The Melbourne Cup place getter of last year, heading towards this, and then the paddock, and then the Melbourne Cup again. 17 the tote. Support for 2 and 3.
Conquering jumped away well, so did Light Vision down on the inside. Orange County and Time Matters got away well. Marching is going forward, followed by Barlini and then Rock Pecker down on the inside. As they settle into stride, Light Vision had the lead. Conquering sitting up second, about a length away. About half length clear to Conquering. A length and a half to Annenkov, got up to third now, followed by Marching. Rock Pecker sneaking runs on the inside, and then Time Matters 1.5 to Barlini. Then Orange County, Largo Lad, and they're followed by Playwright and Just Look. Aztecs Mites are second last, and Sailor Gare. Haven't run it particularly hard. Light Vision narrowly from Conquering as they swing around the home turn. Rock Pecker's got right up to be third, right behind them, followed by Marching. Annenkov deep out as they swing from Time Matters. Orange County, Barlini pulled to the outside, and then Playwright. They're in the straight now. Gauci fell for Conquering, and there was nothing there. As they enter the straight now, Largo Lad's got right up along the inside with Rockpecker. They hit the lead together. Where are the swoopers now? Here's Playwright starting to come home. Time Matters and Barlini were next, but Largo Lad galloped past the 200 by 2 lengths. Playwright running on strongly down the outside. Largo Lad from Playwright. Just Look is coming home. It's Largo Lad in front though. Cut the corner and down he went. Largo Lad won the Blamey from Playwright. Just Look got up for third. Rockpecker ran fourth. Sailor Gear got home for fifth from Barlini. Time Matters Conquering, and he's followed by Orange County. And then behind those was Marching and Annenkov with behind those Light Vision who...
Diamonds to cut the corner near the inside. A big Group 2 victory.
Yeah, certainly terrific result. Good ride, Chris Simons. Good result for him back in the saddle today after suffering those.
Congratulations last week.
I was just saying that we sort of always intended to run in this race, and we were tempted by the Newmarket, and he had to have a good hit out. So I think that was that okay. But I was just saying he's been frustrating, but he's returned the syndicate 33%. And I wish my other investments had done that in the last 12 months.
Well, okay. I don't think the punters will have a similar
Queensland.
He's a bit maligned, this horse, isn't he? But he is a class galloper if he can get it all together. What stops him from putting it all together?
Oh, just immaturity. I think he's like a 6'7", 15-year-old. When he grows into himself, he'll be pretty good.
All right, we've got to start.
Well, maybe he's not the 15-year-old Bruce. Maybe he's Matthew Richardson. Maybe that's the analogy. Just all legs and gangling and not much idea, but plenty of raw talent. And Largo Lad wins the Blamey Stakes here this afternoon.
Largo Lad hasn't really been a punter's pal throughout his career so far. That might be turning around. He beat Playwright, who ran well again. Just Look. And Largo Lad made their good him there. Rich, is he the sort of horse who could be competitive in a Doncaster for yours?
The Doncaster at Ranvet? No.
Well, that's what
I thought he must have been coming for a drink at the Richard Kelly's pub, the Doncaster. I don't want to back him in the Doncaster Hotel, but what a marvellous effort it was. It was...
No, he needs luck. He'll be too far back. Like, he cut the corner there and saved ground. I think that probably won him the race. Yeah, I'm a bit...
He hates competition. He was over on the inside with nothing to annoy him, just like when he came down the straight to do something. I don't think he's a headache. I don't think he'll be a headache for David Hayes as long as he keeps training him like a sprinter miler, which he is. And I think he'll hold his form. I think it's when you stretch his work out trying to make him a 2-miler, that's when you run into trouble.
I think the weight conditions of that race really suited him, and he was really well placed in it. And I don't want to back him in a Doncaster mile. I just don't think he's got the class to beat some of the better milers, but I certainly think there's plenty of races in him.
I tell you, I think
And Deer Valley. Fillies are set. Deer Valley bobbing the head. They're racing now. Horizons jump well with Headway and Deer Valley on the outside. Danza Dog came out running, and Mark Quartz not all that far away. She'll settle in about 4th or 5th spot. Then Coco Coringle, Magic Model going back behind them from Lovely Like a Rock, and then Shadow Miss and Break Card last of all. Horizons sped across the field and found the rail at the 800 and led by a all. It's Horizons under a stranglehold coming around the turn. Shin's got a lap full of horse at the moment. Led from Deer Valley, Coco Coringle out 3 wide from Danza Doll. Headway switched into the clear. Mark Quartz a long way back as they turn, and Horizons, he asks it for the effort now. In front of Deer Valley, here's Headway. The Victorian is starting to steam down the centre of the track, and Headway went to the lead from Horizons, trying to come back on the inside. Love Me Like a Rock is charging home late, and then Danza Doll. Headway's in front. Love Me Like a Rock gives chase on the outside, but Headway's the winner. Headway won it from Love Me Like a Rock and Horizons. Then Danza Doll, Shadow Myth from Mark Quad, who seemed to lose its spot in the early to middle stages, followed by Magic Model Deer.
The two best back runners, Headway, Love Me Like a Rock, finding out the Quinella there in the Sweet Embrace Stakes. Headway, already a listed winner down there in Melbourne. Isn't she a lovely filly for Tony Sanding and the team and Peter Moody? And she's taken out the Sweet Embrace from number 12, Love Me Like a Rock. Wasn't that they picked up at the Inglis Easter sale? A really good buy for them down there.
Headway from Seymour in a 5-horse race to a midweek to a listed race to yesterday's Sweet Embrace Stakes. I suppose we've got some measure here with Horizons running third alongside Melito. Time slow. Rich?
36.22 the last 6. They walked. The winner's got a turn of foot, Bruce. That's what the winner's got, because the winner was feeding him only a long head in front of the second horse, Love Me Like a Rock, at the 350, and then Headway just left the second horse. It was only having his second start. Through the Horizons, Melito. Horizons was wound.
Yeah, just got a question mark on that too.
I've got question mark on it as far as it being slipper form. Horizon's been around a bit now, and this second filly is a really nice filly, Love Me Like a Rock, big strong thing, but she did get beat 10 lengths in a debut in the Silver Slipper, but obviously things weren't exactly
allowed to develop. I reckon she makes a beautiful 3-year-old over a bit of a trip, that Love Me Like a Rock.
Marquardt was the filly I was...
The fillies slipper leader, and we now have the Colts and Geldings. This is the Skyline Stakes, and
just up $2.70 out to $2.90. Number 1, number 2, Foreign News $11. Number 3, Romanus has been $15 out to $16. The favourite is Manhattan Rain, $2.60, $2.50, back to $2.60.
The mares race number 2, and they walked in front there, so the time you would think, just looking at that, only average. Now, Rain broke very quickly from gate number 4. He was the best into stride and led from El Toro. He went bush, and Foreign News is starting to pick up some ground. One more, No More's not all that far away today, and then the Mikado in the inside from Mystery's Cat getting a slight check. Is out the back last of all, and he got into trouble there. Mystery's Cat racing greenly around him, and he had to check. So it's Manhattan Rain the leader at the 650, led by a length on El Toro, the first starter. Then One More, No More covering ground on the outside. Foreign News trying to kick up in the centre. The Mikado is railing up into a nice position. Then came Romanus. He went bush. Fine Drop followed further back in behind them next by Yuma Nugget, and Tickets has come to the extreme outside, but he's 6 away. And Manhattan Rain, he turned him loose, and away he goes. The Mikado in the inside, second, a length and a half away. Then One More, No More, and Tickets is getting wound up down the outside. Manhattan Rain's well clear with 150 to go. Led from the Mikado. He's going further ahead, Manhattan Rain. He's got it one, hands and heels, and he wins it by about a length and 3/4 on the Mikado. Romanus third. Then Tickets, I'd forget that run, followed by One More, No More. Then Human Nugget, followed by He Wayne, and he caused a lot of interference, and he dropped away and finished last of all.
What is this horse's worth now? Manhattan Rain, an Encosta de Largo half-brother to Redute's Choice. He's now a Group 3 winner, and he's taken out the Skyline Stakes in most impressive fashion. You can see he's really sweated. And Gay Waterhouse, great success there for her, Richard.
Super success. Always had a lot of...
Golden Slipper ride back. He loses More Joyous. He gets Manhattan Rain, who may go better in blinkers, thinks Nash. beats the Mikado, maybe ditto in blinkers. Time.
2-year-olds, they're tough. They keep finding. I really imagine if Gay puts blinkers on this fella come Golden Slipper Day. I think he's the only one out of yesterday's 2-year-olds I can back in the slipper. Tickets, I agree with Danny Nicolek, is a horse size produce of Champagne, as we mentioned, Mark. The Mikado, I think Timmy's got him on a tender horse.
He's a nice horse, the Mikado. He was a cheap buy. He's the cheapest horse at Easter that race you'd want for a slipper. I think tickets would get too far back in a slipper and, you know, it'd be fanned wide. He'd have to draw inside and get luck, I think.
Well, one thing they've got to do...
Away from the winner, he's got plenty of supporters now for the slipper. He's run the time. They've gone nearly a second quicker than the fillies. He did it from the front. He's a beautifully bred colt, a very beautifully bred, valuable colt now with his pedigree. And look, full steam ahead to the slipper. Whether I want to back him in the slipper,
why wouldn't you want to back him?
I just don't.
Why?
He's not turning me on like he's turning other people on. He just found the right. Everything went perfect for him yesterday.
To know what turns you on, right?
This horse, Tickets, that runs fourth, he got dragged back through the race early, and he spent half the time switching him off, and then half the time trying to switch him back on. I think that was totally forgivable. Second horse went much better.
I got a theory on Tickets.
Yeah.
She's going to have to at those odds, isn't she? $4.70 favourite. She's firmed up with a Barrow trial win. Well done.
15-4. She's got to win next week.
Yeah.
And in the war at that price, she's got to win impressively to get into the slipper. She's got to be held together and then get to the slipper. 15-4. You wonder why the bookmakers are buying Mercedes-Benz and Lexuses, Mark.
Well, what if you draw 14 or 15? You may as well stay at home.
Now, I know you, Rich, you're probably last.
Looking forward to this one, the Ranvet Guineas with Caroline.
We are. Thank you very much for that, Bruce. The runners in the yard, a real buzz of anticipation here in the mounting yard before the feature of the day, the Group 1 Ranvet Guineas for the 3-year-olds over the famous Ranvet Mile. And not much between the first and second place getters in the Hobartville here as far as the betting's concerned. The second place getter, though, Caymans, is the favourite around the $3.70 mark here on course. Behind Micmac, who's shooting for 6. Chaser, good go for this one too from big odds, $61 into $31. Rock Kingdom is a $7 chance, $9 into 7 already. Just some word from the stewards too. We've heard Sousa.
61 Cayman solid at $4 and favourite. Micmac $4.80. Predatory Pricer at $19. Desuetude 13. Tabeek 26 into 20. Lucky Thunder 26 solid dollars and 41. Metal Bender 20 to 21. Over the wicket, big odds, $51 into $31. Snow Alert, 101.
Cayman stumbled from the inside. He lost about a half a length. And it's Micmac coming out well with Desuetude. Snow Alert's right up there, and so too is Sousa making up some ground. Then came Lucky Thunder over the wicket, followed by Predatory Prices settling on the back of them in about 6th spot. Up for Detroit. Then came Boys Will Be Boys, Metal Bender, Tabeek a long way back with its stablemate. And then we got Barchia Moore, Youthful Jack's right out the back. Rhino Chaser likewise, and Roman Emperor last of all. Desuetude sitting out wide has taken the lead, but he's 3 deep. He led from Snow Alert, Micmac in the centre. He's going to ease back to third now from over the wicket, and then Sousa and Lucky Thunder. Caymans is sliding up along the inside, hands up for Detroit's very wide, and then we've got Predatory Pricer followed by Rock Kingdom further back. Boys Will Be Boys. Rebel Raider lost its spot there. Tabeek about to start a run from Metal Bender. Rhino Chaser trying to thread his way through the field. Youthful Jack still a mile back coming to the home turn, and Roman Emperor's via the car park on the turn, and it's Desuetude headed by Snow Alert and over the wicket. Behind them next, Rock Kingdom getting a rails run. Caymans has got plenty of room to come through in the centre, and wider out Boys Will Be Boys and Micmac, but Rock Kingdom, he's shot through along the inside. Caymans is after him with Micmac. It's Rock Kingdom the leader, a half a length on Caymans, who's closing the gap from Micmac. Metal Bender along the inside. Rock Kingdom, Metal Bender and Caymans. Metal Bender's hit the lead. Metal Bender won the Guineas. Won it from Rock Kingdom and Caymans, and then Tabeek further back behind them next Micmac, and then came Sousa. Over the wicket, Youthful Jack, Predatory Pricer, Rhino Chaser. Then we've got further back behind them Lucky Thunder, Boys Will Be Boys, Hands Up for Detroit, Barchia Moore, Roman Emperor. Desuetude had a hard run from Rebel Raider, and last in was Snow Alert.
Hasn't this horse continued his rise through the grades? He's now a Group 1 winner, number 14, Metal Bender by Dana Singer for Jack Denham and Dan Nicklick, taking out the Group 1 Ranvet Guineas. Rock Kingdom, he was valiant, he tried his heart out, but on the inside,
more out of his 6 starts, and he's now the Group 1 winner of the Ranvet Guineas, and he's only going to get better come Rosehill Guineas and Derby Day.
Same thing can be said for his
Jack, and they've had a little bit of a smile between themselves, and I think Jack's pretty happy too. Jack and Alan Denham, a little quiet moment between them, father and son. They've been a great partnership for a long time, and Danny Nicolek gave this horse a dream run. He's now won 4 of his 6 starts. He's had excuses at his last start when they absolutely walked up in front. Face, I think they're pretty happy.
Yeah, well, this horse has done an incredible job. You know, he's probably wasn't expected to win today over the mile. That shows how good he is because he's a dead 7.5 mile horse.
That's what I said. We can't wait a fortnight. You go the Rosehill Guineas and the Derby. He's only going to get better.
Oh, well, you know, he's a very promising horse, always has been. And I think a lot of people have forgot about him after his last run, but it was good to win.
Well, Al, no matter how good you
are. A length by 3/4 of a length. 136.56 the time. 36.35 for the final 600 metres. Medal bender 22.60. 4.30. Good value there. The English interims. Rock Kingdom $2.60 and Caymans $1.90.
You know, he's not going to come into his own until he gets up over a trip. Today I was I irritated him a little bit early out of the barriers because we drew good and I didn't want to end up last in a slowly run race. So I ended up getting a pretty good position and got the runs when I needed them, and it was a good, tough win.
And the best part is, as you...
Well, he's got the scope and the potential to go, to big heights with races like the Derby and, Rosehill Guineas, races like that. Obviously, when the distance get further, it's going to suit him.
Jack Denham, his 84th Group 1 victory, his first since Asia back in 2001. Medal bender, $21. Bookies cheered. Rock Kingdom every chance. Caymans can find some issues in races. But I think, Dan, the more you watch the race, you've got to say that the best performance came from the horse you rode.
Yeah, I believe so, Bruce. You know, looking at the replay last night, and I watched it a few times, there wasn't any hard luck stories. Obviously, my horse covered a league, pushed him hard really to try and hold.
So he's very much a little bit of a mould like Danny Nicolai, just go cool, watch everyone else, and then business end.
It was funny yesterday when I went out there. Jack said to me, he doesn't say much. He's pretty. He said to me, I said, "What's doing, boss?" He said to me, "Just don't be back last."
Well, thankfully he was able to win.
I think he'd be better suited at the 2000. I thought that with him all along. And look, the horse that beat me tailed me right through and had the last shot at me. And it's probably a fraction good on the day, but my horse's run was full of merit.
The Derby market and Medal Bender equal favourite. Definitive was scratched yesterday for P. Moody. He'll come to Sydney. Caymans, who bungled to start again yesterday. Buffett preeminence for Mick Price. Even, isn't it? Very good. Even bunch, not a good lot, but a very even bunch.
Preeminence, that's the one that led up in the Cup and last.
Yep.
Tired.
Sousa's probably.
As the races get longer, he's going to get harder and harder to beat because of the way he races, because he can put himself in the race and keep running up on the speed like that and keeps going. Taking nothing away from the winner, great effort. Both horses came along the inside. I still don't. Ronnie and I argue every week on this that the jockeys and trainers overcook this ridiculous. There's bias on the track. 3 of the winners came along the fence. Yeah. I just don't know where they get it from.
Look, I'm not so sure they come along the fence. It was only when they were overdoing it, people were cutting the corner. So I'm suggesting to you, if we look at the head on, they're not directly on the fence.
I think Olanana.
Anyway, back to the race. Back on your Rock Kingdom statement there, I'm just a little worried. He's been up since Boxing Day. He's been up and he's been to Queensland and back, where these other horses are yet to come into their peak.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And he is a stay, this fella, isn't he? Medal bender, he is.
You see Cayman's there, he ran away from the stick. He didn't like it at all. He's still learned, hasn't he?
Mick Mac's done it on all right.
Mick Mac's done a terrific job this preparation.
Yeah, Mick Mac will go for a spell now, boys. Greg Urell, happy enough. He just that we haven't mentioned, Predatory Pricer, just not finishing it off as what Paul Murray expected. They're going to experiment with the winkers and the blinkers before they get to the...
that ran second there. Rock
13, Langphibian 101, Olanana $9.50 into $8.50, and Caroline?
Indeed, yep, the marketing...
And the Cap Heroes come up, a lot of speeds drawn down to the inside with Cap Hero in 1. This is the Ascend Sales Challenge Stakes, 1,000 metres, Group 2.
Racing, and they began well. Hoystar starting to drift back shortly after the start, coming out well. Fantine took the lead with Keen Commander, Cap Hero and Gold Trails rolling forward from a wide gate. Just behind them, Discipline, followed by My Vegas, and then came Biscay Bay. In fact, going forward there is La Forza into about 6th spot. My Vegas is out the back. Langphibian midfield, and then Hoystar, Murder Jill, Our Rock and Roller. Olanana second last, and My Vegas last of all. Fantine led clearly, about 2 lengths on Keen Commander, and then came Cap Hero Pro and Discipline from Gold Trail. La Forza next from Rock and Roller. And Hoystar's giving the leaders about 7 or 8. It's Fantine the leader. About 2 lengths on Cap Hero. Keen Commander next from Gold Trail. Hoystar starting to storm through in the centre now. Fantine led from Cap Hero. Hoystar's coming very quickly and Olenana's right along the rail. It's Olenana and Hoystar hitting the lead together. Olenana right along the fence won it. Olenana from Hoystar and Fantine. Then came Cap Hero, Gold Trail, Murder Jill, followed by My Vegas, Keen Commander, Discipline, and then we've got most of all.
Olenana, Tim Clark has gone the inside run now. It's at this stage taken out the race from Hoystar, the Challenge Stakes, but have a look. We'll show you around the turn. Run 56.92 for the 1,000 metres, Olenana. Well, she has, and a super performance by Olenana to get the prize here in the Group 2. Thunder and Lightning to get the prize here in the Group 2. Thunder and Lightning and torrential rain now, sending everybody running for cover here. I think we'll be doing this presentation.
A Gold Trail, Murder Jill, followed by
Race, and the girl, Olenana, wins impressively first up to beat the Nikolic on Hoystar. Fantine must be the fastest horse in New South Wales. 56.92, only 7/10 outside the record. Zephyr Bay, what year was that, Rich?
3 years after I was born, I think 75. I think it might have been.
It was then. So obviously Olenana's run well. Gee, you looked home here on Hoystar, Dan.
I actually thought I was. He raced really well yesterday, and the furlong I thought I was close to a good thing because I was really making good ground quickly at them, and just sort of at the corner of my eye on the inside, John O'Shea's really getting through, and she was just going 2 to my 1 the last 100 metres.
Is it horses for courses?
It really finished well over on the inside and went on to score handsomely.
Well, terrific training performance from John O'Shea. He looked at the record books. He said, oh, 3-year-olds have got quite a good little record in this race. He set this filly for it. And look, she's come through with flying colours. I think getting back to Richard's time theory and all that, I think that was flattered the time here. By the second last race, the wind was blowing that storm in. It was the best tailwind you've ever seen coming here.
You're all getting the tailwind.
And the grass on this track hadn't been shaved since last week. So I think the time was definitely distorted. But look, you can only...
The grass actually makes him go slower.
Yeah, well, the grass was long, I can tell you that much. But...
I just think you're searching for things to justify it, Ronnie. Look, it's a great effort. She's going past some of the fastest horses in Sydney here and going past them at a rate of knots. But it's a very good effort. Well placed, nice filly. Will win plenty of sprint races. I don't know about the other. Look, we're well aware of what all the others are. We're pretty aware of all their level, and that's a very good effort for a 3-year-old filly to beat them.
Yeah, look, I thought Hoystar.
The Newmarket. They're going to the barriers for the Newmarket, the feature race on the card anywhere around the country, the $140,000 Group 3 feature. Ashikaga going off to the gates. He's the favourite. Let's have a look down the board. This race still just 6, opened up $1.80, got out to even money. Even money did not last at Dooman. This is the Newcastle Newmarket, number 4, Ashikaga, the favourite, 190. Late support for the 3 Musket, 6 into 5 late.
Gates are back. They're off in the Newmarket, immediately walking or dancing, dropped out the back. And McClintock, the early leader, closely followed by Ashikaga, and moving forward, the Ruffy Bengal. Scarlet trapped out very wide, followed by Solo Flyer, Newton's Rings, a length the Musket Chasm. Second last, Malcolm, and last of all, walking or dancing. McClintock, the leader, as they go round the first corner at the 950. A length and a half on Bengal. A length away third is Ashikaga, followed by Solo Flyer. 1 to New behind them, and McClintock leads the Newmarket field. A length or so on the hot pot, Ashikaga, nearly 2 to Solo Flyer, 1 to Bengal. Then comes Chasm, Newton's Rings, followed by Malcolm, another 2 away. On its outside is Musket, a length and a half to Walking or Dancing, and the Chilean import, Last Scarlet. They're homeward bound, McClintock the leader. Ashikaga is out after McClintock. Chasm trying to bullock between them and succeeds. And Solo Flyer joining in. Ashikaga dropped off, and old Newton's Rings putting in a run. Solo Flyer got to the front from Chasm. McClintock, forget Ashikaga, then Newton's Rings. Solo Flyer and Chasm. Solo Flyer in front. Chasm can't match it, and Solo Flyer wins the Newmarket. Chasm second, Walking or Dancing third from Musket, Newton's Rings. And then came Ashikaga, followed by McClintock. Malcolm. Second last was Bengal, and Scarlet was last to complete the course. Number 6 wins the Showcase Jewelers Newcastle Newmarket Handicap. And that is Solo Flyer ridden by Corey Brown.
This horse has been off the scene for a long time. He's racing really well. Look at that. Two runs back for 2 wins. Corey Muscat doing his best work late to run fourth, but Solo Flyer wins the Newcastle Newmarket. A good training effort by...
Thank you very much for that, Terry. And there was the favourite. There he still is, the favourite, Real Saga for the Todman Stakes here. As you said, the lead up to the Golden Slipper. He is around $1.80 on course, Real Saga. He ran on in the Blue Diamond. He beat the Blue Diamond winner, Reward for Effort, in the previous start. Reward for Effort is a scratching. He'll trial on Friday here in Sydney. Here's that.
Real Saga. The even money. It was into 185 out to evens, back to 190, now back to the $2 mark. A clear favourite, but black figures. Number 3.
Feeling Ready went straight back to last. Striker came out very quickly and has got the early lead, led from Even Flow. Going through in the centre there, Rhythm of Dancers picking up some ground into second, followed by Purdy, and then came Zickman and Wanted. Now Real Saga's tracking it, and Feeling Ready goes back to the tail. Gone through along the inside now to pick up some ground, and then came Zickman, and Real Saga's been relegated to the tail of the field. It's Rhythm of Dance the leader. Striker running second, Purdy third on the fence. Wanted starting to creep up 3 wide around Even Flow, and then Feeling Ready waiting for a run near the inside. Beatman's off now in Real Saga. It's gone past Zickman as they run down towards the 300. Rhythm of Dance being collared now by Striker. Real Saga's starting to wind up down the outside. He's coming down the centre of the track and he's looking all over a winner. He's shot to the front now, Real Saga. Raced away from Purdy. Feeling Ready on the inside, and hands and heels only from Real Saga, and he wins it easily by 2 on Feeling Ready and Purdy. Close for fourth between Striker and Wanted, and then Rhythm of Dance, Zickman and Even Flow finished at the back of the field.
That is a Super Golden Slipper trial. His form has been sensational, winning a Blue Diamond lead-up. He ran on in the Blue Diamond. He's now come out and won one of the important slipper lead-ups here, the Todman Slipper Trial. Real Saga, dear, the Todman Slipper Trial. Real Saga, Darren Beedman, welcome back to town. His first ride of the day. Darren Beedman, he's already a winner, and Feeling Ready.
Have to happen in an hour's time in the Riesling to oust this horse as the Golden Slipper favourite. He's the one to beat, ladies and gentlemen. That was a dominant victory. They shuffled him out the back, and he picked them up like they were stuck to the ground. Money's gone astray on Wanted, and then had the 5 starts for 4 wins and that 1 second in the Blue Diamond. And as you said, unless one of these fillies comes out and blows them away, whether it be More Joyous, Melito, any of them in the fillies race, the Riesling, this fella certainly deserves to be right at the top of the market for the slipper. Caroline, look, you think More Joyous, if she runs basically, Caroline, in the first 3, she may well get in the slipper. The first 2, definitely that's around Australia. And I'll tell you what's happening. Number 1, Melito, $4.40 into $4. Big O, $9 into $7.50. More Joyous is now out to $2. Even money, $2 for More Joyous.
They're all in. Starter's about to go up and release them. Racing now, Sunday Rose bungled the start. She was last out of the stalls. Colour began well. More Joyous has jumped out okay, settling about midfield. It's Colour going to the lead. Led from No Comment and Ready Or. Melito settling behind them, fourth on the inside, and then we've got Made It to the Moon. So anyway, on the inside from our Joan of Arc, More Joyous going back now, about 6 or 7 off the lead. 50, No Comment running second. Melito's in the box seat, third on the inside. Then Ready Or, followed by So Anyway back on the rail. Then our Joan of Arc, More Joyous has been taken away from the inside. She's starting to pull to the outside, about 4 and 5 wide. Leader is Colour as they turn from No Comment. There's a run between them for Melito. More Joyous is starting to run on very quickly down the outside. Here's the showdown between Melito and More Joyous. It's on the outside. More Joyous taking the advantage. Sprinted a bit better than Melito. And More Joyous is kicking away with 100 metres to go. Oh, she's back in the slipper all right. And More Joyous goes on to win it. More Joyous by a length and a half, Melito. Third home was So Anyway from our Joan of Arc and Ready Or. Then we've got Sunday Rose, Miss MacArthur, Phenomenal Lass and Colour. Back in behind them next we've got Summer Duckwood, Pearl of the Sea, Phenomenal Lass, No Comment. And last in was Made It to the Moon.
She is every bit as good as was predicted. More Joyous, she's come out after the bucking display in the Silver Slipper, and she has dominated a high-class field of fillies to take out the Riesling Slipper trial. Melito, it became a...
Today, we've seen 2 outstanding slipper trials. Darren, firstly, tell us about Tuesday, about More Joyous.
Well, she's a little bit more hyped up than what she was in the trial in the gates, and she...
Just sing up.
as you were saying, Darren.
Thanks, mate. Singo's always taken me to great heights.
Can she get to great heights?
Good. Just come out and won as she wanted.
I know you'd be riding her, of course, in the Golden Slipper. But on today's performance, what was the better performance today?
Oh, I'm just a jockey, mate. I'll leave that.
$1.30. Melito, 150, not disgraced. Margin third, so Winnie.
2-1 feeling ready and Purdy. Close for fourth between Striker and Wanted.
Time
And
good
in
home,
rhythm of
22, 10, 11.35 himself. Overall, sectional 34.53. He ran 33.82 unhit. Real Saga, outstanding. Feeling ready, satisfactory. That's where it stops for me there, Mark.
To my eye, I think he went a bit better than the filly because they went a lot slower in front in this race. The only thing against him in the slipper is, as we saw in the Blue Diamond, he hasn't got a lot of early speed, which puts him in a precarious position. He needs luck in the run. Yesterday was just too good for the opposition, so the luck didn't come into play. But I think if he gets even luck in the race, he's definitely the one to beat.
Yeah, I've got no doubt about that. He's the one to beat for sure. I know his time was 0.12 slower than the filly, but 34.53. That was outstanding. They
And a half Melito. Third home was so anyway from our Joan of Arc and Ready Or. Then we've
Well,
got
she was
Sunlight
great for Darren there yesterday. Nash picked up the winning riders check nonetheless.
What about that?
Nine fatties for watching from the grandstand. Melito good near the inside. After that, they won't be serious players, but more joyous. Confirms her spot and confirmed as Darren Beedman's ride. I'll talk a bit more about that shortly too, but no, she was great, Mark, wasn't she here?
Oh, she's got acceleration like Real Saga. They've got to turn a foot, and that puts them into the race very quickly. They both went outstanding yesterday. We'll look at Real Saga in a minute, but he was too good for Melito, who might be better back on top of the ground. But you can't take anything away from the winner. She was just too good.
There's a couple of things that'll be in the favour if we get it in a fortnight's time in Melito's favour. Look, Mojoy's went outstanding, and on that you think, well, she can't turn the tables. But Melito, I agree, Mark. I don't think she let down there. In the slip, a bigger field, 3 lengths further back, she can do what she did in the trial, go bang. Better on top of the ground. And the one bonus she's got over more Joyce is, she's got improvement to come. She's a big filly. She's going to handle the rigorous racing. More Joyce, she's hanging on by dental floss.
I wouldn't go that far because Gay does touch on that. I mean, she went up favourite with Real Saga yesterday. They've got them even now, 360 each of 2. Ross Dover, forgotten filly for mine. I think she's right there. They pay up at the end of this week. $8.
He wins it easily by 2-1 feeling ready and Purdy. Close for fourth between Striker and
Talk
Wanted.
about dominating. Real
Giving the jockeys a bit of a give them the rev up, and the jockeys are a dime a dozen. I'll let you know who's riding it.
Good on him. Well, they're going well.
What a horse this is.
This is the performance for the Golden Slipper. The filly was a great performance later on. We'll see that she ran faster time. But this is the horse I like because he's been to Melbourne. He performed well on the Blue Diamond and arguably could have won or should have won that race. He's come back to Sydney. He's just blitzed these. Darren Beedman had the confidence just to let him sit last. I mean, that's not normal in 2-year-old races. It takes a lot of confidence, a lot of judgment to do that. And he just unwound a run. If he unwinds that run in the Golden Slipper, he wins it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know the filly run faster time, but this colt is like he's a Sebring. He's just like a 3-year-old. He's tough. I can imagine him in a pocket in the slipper and just saying, give him a nudge. He's tough enough to do that. Where we'll get to the other filly later. She's a little bit more delicate, but he should be the Golden Slipper favourite. If he had Darren Beedman, he would be the Golden Slipper favourite. Who will...
More Joyce by a length and a half, Melito. Third home was so anyway from our Joan of Arc and Ready.
It's good as everyone's been telling me for 3 months.
Well, I'm just checking the time. That's 1:11.4, so a little bit faster than Real Saga.
Yeah, but he did it easy and she did it easy, so it's going to be one hell of a Golden Slipper.
Not much between these two. I mean, they're pretty similar performances.
She's an athlete, isn't she?
Hang on, Richard, you're backtracking, mate. You just said the Real Saga.
Whip on him there, Andrew.
I said I think Real Saga will win. I'll stick with that, but I don't think there's much between them. He mightn't beat her by far, but I think he probably will beat her. But she's a very delicate filly. You saw her in the yard yesterday, Ronnie. You made the comment that she's very light and hanging together by a thread.
That's just her, though. Tuesday Joy's a bit like that as well. It's a family trait.
Right.
Passions of Field was like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he kept going forever and ever. And I tell you what, pushed her back about a length and a bit.
Look, I just take the attitude. A good colt probably beats a good filly. and they're both good. And yeah, I think
the kilo different this year, isn't it? I think
they lose a kilo, the girls.
The fillies lose a kilo.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just stick with the colt there. But, you know, not much in it. The big question, there is one big question comes out of it. If Singo wins, will he shout the bar?
Now, they haven't got the right beer there.
I want answered.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't got the right beer.
Fantastic lineup of top class horses here. The favourite, Northern Meteor, he's a superbly bred son of Encosta de Lago, $2.40 and favourite at this stage. Rich?
Yeah, he dominates, doesn't he? Triple Honour, the Doncaster winner of 12 months ago, $13. The two's out, all silent, $5 to $6. El Cam Forensics, 5 out to $6. And the favourite, Northern Meteor, $2.40. I tell you what, Karen, an absolute cracking race. The Maya Canterbury Stakes. Number 1, Triple Honour's been $14 out to $16. Number 2, Racing to Win, be kept for another day. 3 all silent, $5 to $6. Number 4, El Cambio, Darren Beeman, $9 $41. 9 Forensics, $6 into $4.80. Very good money for Forensics, $6 into $4.80. And the bottom one, though, has been rock solid 10 Northern Meteor, $2.40 and a dominant favourite.
Racing, Northern Meteor jump well. Shin's going to drive him out of the stalls to keep the inside running and lead from Royal Discretion. Triple Honour began well and Murder Jill starting to go up on the outside and improve. But Northern Meteor will just hold him out for the moment. But Murder Jill's pressed on to go up and shade him now. So Murder Jill takes over from Northern Meteor. He's going to let Murder Jill go. Triple Honour third from Royal Discretion. Then came Mentality out wide. All silent into the centre, followed by crossed over onto the fence and led by about 2 lengths on Triple Honour. Northern Meteor will have to come off the speed. He's running third on the inside. Then came Mentality, followed by Royal Discretion. 2 to All Silent, Black Piranha. And the stablemates are back at the rear. Forensics and El Cambio on the swing for home. And the leader, Murder Jill. Northern Meteor's got plenty of room to come through. Triple Honour on his outside. 2 to Royal Discretion. And then came All Silent. El Cambio. Forensics is still back at the rear. I don't like Northern Meteor at the moment. Triple Honour raced up to take the lead from Murder Jill. All Silent is flying down the centre. Here comes All Silent. He raced up for Oliver to take the lead. Forensics is charging home later. All Silent in front of Forensics. All Silent wins it. All Silent won it by a neck on Forensics. Third home, Royal Discretion from Black Piranha. Then Northern Meteor. Triple Honour was next, followed by Mentality, El Cambio, and Murder Jill has set the speed. Knocked up and finished last of all.
Second up, the Emirates winner. Number 3, All Silent, takes out the Canterbury Stakes for Damien Oliver and Graham Begg. He came flying down the outside just when it looked as if Triple Honour was going to take out this race. And then you saw Forensics coming through. You looked out further, and there he was, All Silent. The half to Private Steer. Well, he's now just a super chance to go on towards the Doncaster and emulate his half-sister.
Yeah, and I think Forensics will head the same way. 3 All Silent, Damien Oliver for Graham Begg, $6 to $5 late in betting. Sprinted too quickly. Forensics second. Third, Royal Discretion. And with Bruce.
Very happy, Graham Begg, and why wouldn't he be? Because you told us pre-race that it did run well today, but the Doncaster's a lot more improvement. Well, today's a bonus.
Yeah, definitely. I was worried about the 1,300 metres. Look, he ran so well first up and really only had to sprint for 200 metres, so he still had a little bit of that left inside of him. I knew he was still a bit touch new going into today's race. But, when he let down, he really give it to him, you know.
That's his great asset, isn't it, Graham?
Oh, definitely. And going to Weight for Age for the first time, it's just it's all up for him.
And you can tell, too, that he might have hit the wall when Damien sort of tried to throttle him down. He really hit it strongly, didn't he?
Oh, he certainly did. And, he'll go on today and go to the George Ryder in 2 weeks' time and then hopefully on to the Doncaster.
Sounds easy.
Very exciting.
Well done, you, Graham. Well done. Graham, pretty smart horse in his show today. He's a weight for age horse with a turn of foot.
Absolutely, Bruce. Yeah, he's come on since the spring. I only had the one sit on him, but he's filled out a lot and, I think he's improved a lot since the spring.
So there's a lot more to come from him, and it seemed when you tried to let him throttle down, he did.
Yeah, he sure did. He was in front of Fairway Out and he was just sort of stargazed a bit there, but, he had it one a long way out.
Well done, Damien. Well done.
Northern Meteor.
The winner, isn't he? Now he's a weight for age horse, All Silent, en route beautifully for the Doncaster. We'll talk to Graham Begg shortly, sort of talking about this horse being a bonus win yesterday and beats Forensics, who was typically good. Fresh. Northern Meteor ran the favourite, Rich nearer the inside, and Blake told stewards that probably wasn't the best place to be.
Yeah, well, he got out. Black Piranha come from behind him on this. He was disappointing. That was simple fact. Yeah. He was most disappointing. I think his best runs are when he's been able to dominate Mark. Murder Jill, well, They gave it a gutbuster yesterday, Murder Jill. I think that was in the instructions from the Patnack team, though. They went forward and, well, he still looked big in condition, didn't he? But Northern Meteor was very disappointing. I thought Triple Honour went all right because he was on top of the hot speed chasing. But the winner's very, very good. And Black Piranha, well, when he gets back to his Class 2 grade, he'll be very hard to beat.
He won with something up the sleeve here, also, and he's a very, very good horse. But I'd concur with Black Piranha. Con's done a great job with this horse, bringing him through. To think that he'd be unlucky should have finished close in a weight for age race, so someone would have had you committed about a year ago.
Should finish third, shouldn't he?
It's a big season, terrific year.
Yeah, he is.
And more to come too.
Beautifully placed, this horse. He's been beautifully handled all through the spring and into the autumn here. Graham's just put him in the right races at the right time. He's done a terrific job with him, and the horse is rewarding him. He is going to the next level. I think he's the dominant sprinter miler, probably miler in the country at the moment, and or one of them. There might be two or three others you could throw in that I can't think of at the moment. But I tell you what, this horse is right there with him.
He's a beauty, and he's yet to peak yet. Look, he drops 5 kilos going into the Doncaster. He's got 54 kilos. He's second up here. He's franked the Liverpool City Cup form here as well. And look, whatever beats him in the Doncaster will win the race.
What about Black Piranha's running that?
Black Piranha, you can make a case he was a little bit unlucky here.
No, he'd have run third, I reckon.
He's just in rare form. He come back from the Gold Coast where he was terrific there.
That's him in the blue and white checks, getting a check off their heels and having to come to across the heels now. And his last 50 metres is very, very good.
Yeah.
Ron, Northern Meteor seemed to lose the plot, getting back in behind him in the Newmarket handicap. Based on that, do you think he perhaps should have handed up the lead or not?
Look, he's just lost his speed to my eye. I don't know what's gone wrong with this horse. This horse was the horse that's running, last preparation was coming out running course record times. He looks sensational in the yard. Look, maybe he's looking for further this prep. Look, he's another horse.
I've got to think, look, I don't know, but I've got to think they might be managing something with him because of only a couple of runs. You know, it's just not Gay Waterhouse style, the way that horse is being placed.
Some super racing coming up. We're up to the first Group 1 of the day. This is the Ranvet Stakes, and hasn't this been a time-honoured race? We have the Melbourne Cup winner in viewed here. We have Thesio, who Gay Waterhouse said earlier in the day was her best chance to win here today. Of course, with $7, he's still easing out, and if you missed the preview, I think he said he'll do 3 laps of the track. Hasn't said what on.
Now, number 1 viewed, 550 to 480. The favourite Thesio, 240 to 210, back to the 240 mark. Good money for it. Newport 26 to 21. Moatees 21.26 back into $21. Zagreb 7 out to $8. Vision and Power $7 into $6.
Roffin Racing. Newport went straight out the back and he's lost the jockey again, Newport. That's the second time of his last 3 starts. Newport has dumped the rider. Well, there's a sensation. It's Thesio taking the lead on settling down. Led from Vision and Power going up to second. Road to Rockers third. Then came Zagreb settling down in 4th spot. Fiumicino back on the rail midfield for Zagreb, and then came 2 to Fiumicino. Followed further back and behind them by Moatees, and then came Viewed, who's going to go up along the inside as those other runners are steering a little bit wider. So Shin pinched a couple of lengths at that point. A Nice Chariot's back last of all. Leader is Thesio, Vision and Power running second, Road to Rock third, and then Zagreb. Viewed is still on the improve now. He's weaving to the outside. He's made ground to midfield and he's coming up about 3 and 4 wide. Bowman's tracking him on Moatees from Fiumicino and Ice Chariot's last. Thesio got a break at the top of the straight. He raced away, 3 lengths in front. Road to Rock next. Viewed is coming down the outside with a barnstorming finish. Leader Thesio inside the 200. Led from Road to Rock, Viewed and Vision and Power are grinding away. Thesio in front. Viewed is starting to close on the outside. The Melbourne Cup winner coming at Thesio. Thesio digs deep for Nash and he lifts and wins it. Thesio won it from Viewed. Moatees third. Vision and Power fourth from Road to Rock. Then Zagreb, Fiumicino and Ice Chariot's run tailed off.
Super performance by Thesio coming off the second in the Australian Cup. Viewed, he made the challenge. He looked as if he might have gone past. Then you thought this horse has that Gay Waterhouse polish and just fought back Thesio when he's just been a super racehorse. 28 starts, 8 wins and 8 minor placings, and now cracked the $2 million.
Yeah, he's a superstar. He's as tough as they can.
Then Zagreb.
There he goes, past $2 million in prize money, Thesio, and there's a lot more to come. The favourite, great ride by Nash. Viewed, ticking over nicely for the BMW. Moatees ticking over nicely for the Sydney Cup. The horse named after the European Stratospheric Experiment Ozone. Richie
That's
knew
true,
that.
you know, Mark.
Thesio.
Can you spell that, Bruce?
Theseo. Maybe Cox Plate winner, but it's a great ride by Nashi.
Yeah, it certainly was a great ride. Theseo. Now, Gay's got an option, Mark. What does she do? Does she go a fortnight to the George Ryder and the Doncaster? Or does she go a fortnight into the BMW? You wouldn't imagine if you went to the BMW, you could come back to the Doncaster. I suppose.
Road to Rock. Here's the market. Gee, I to take the 480. No, it's easy. This is the Sporting Bet Australia market, of course. So, Greg Rich saved you from doing 3 laps yesterday. I'd probably save you for life of doing any laps.
It was disappointing, wasn't it? You had a perfect run in about the.
Yeah, take nothing away from the winner. He's a dominator. He just runs his rivals ragged here. He's back from Melbourne. He got a little bit of pressure mid-race there, but look, he won, and he was the best horse on the day. And viewed.
Loved his run.
Yeah, terrific
Loved his run.
He's not ready yet, and
G made a long run on him.
Yeah, well, he was forced to. He was sort of railed up, and I don't think it's the Bart style, like make a 700-metre run on a horse that's still a run short.
He didn't have a choice though. He had to get going when he got going. He really did. But he just seemed to, like he was under riding well before we see him here viewed in the yellow sleeves, and Theseo out there highballing, and he'd had a fairly easy run in front, so there was always going to be a kick in the locker there. And here comes Viewed. He gets to within a length or so of Theseo, and he just peaks on his run. Just can't take that last length off Theseo, who kicked pretty hard.
Look at his stablemate on the inside here, Moatees. He's going just as well. He's going just.
Who do you want to back in the BMW?
Wait for age. I want to back. I want to back Viewed. And
I do too.
Talking to the old boss yesterday, I said I want to back this horse today, and he's saying be patient, be patient. I wish I would have taken his advice.
Yeah,
he's more or less saying he's not ready yet. He's not ready.
But he'll peak off that run.
Yeah,
And that'll be for the BMW.
Interesting, just talking with Gay this morning about Theseo. Yesterday, I think it was freshen up Doncaster Mile. Now it's BMW right in the number one discussion now with the winner. Yeah, have a crack.
Look at this thing with the flashing light and the blue there. What's that? Do you know the blue and white? That's back running six
that,
there.
Might be Zagreb.
Zagreb.
Oh,
you're on the back. Well, no second prize.
The nomination.
I'll tell you why Theseo can win the.
Coming up next, one of the great races. I remember Sunline, the great mare carrying 60 kilos and going on to win this great Fillies and Mares Classic. We've got in the betting Gallant Test 510, judged at 520, Neroli 990, absolutely fabulous 570, Chinchilla Rose 33. Let's go over to the page. Still plenty more good horses. Portillo, the 3-year-old at $23. Rock Me Baby, $23. Typhoon Tracy, that's the Victorian. She's very good, $8.70. And Pravana, a big chance, no luck first.
$31. Gallant Test. $7 into $6. Number 5 judged $5.50 into $5. Neroli $9 to $10. Absolutely fabulous $10 into $8. Chinchilla Rose 71 out to $81. Portillo $21 into $18. Baby 21 to 26. Typhoon Tracy $5 rock solid. Gold Water 16 to 15. Pravana 13 into 10.
Benicia jumped well on the outside, but Typhoon Tracy's gone through very quickly to take up the running. The Kiwi Culminate up running second from Mary's Grace, and Goldwater's going through, but Typhoon Tracy's going to come across easily and take the lead. Now back in about 5th spot, we've got Chinchilla Rose going up to join Imanana from the first corner with about 8.50 to go, and Typhoon Tracy, the unbeaten filly, is the leader and slows them down. 3/4 of a length on Culminate. Then came Mary's Grace, followed in behind them next by Goldwater. Chinchilla Rose is off the track, back on the inside, Rock Me Baby. Benicia's had a very tough run going through on the centre, Imanana bar. Gallant Tess is over on the fence from Eskimo Queen, and then came Judged and Neroli, Portillo, Pravana, and Illuminates last as they head for the judge now in the Coolmore. Typhoon Tracy didn't corner all that well. Culminates is coming after with Chinchilla Rose down the outside, looking for a run back near the inside, Rock Me Baby, and further back down the outside, Imanana bar. Culminate went up to Typhoon Tracy. Culminate's got the lead from Typhoon Tracy. Then Chinchilla Rose. Typhoon Tracy comes back. She was headed. She's regained the lead. She remains unbeaten. Typhoon Tracy from Culminate and Gallant Tess. Then Pravana, followed by Goldwater. Then there's a wall of horses. Mary's Grace on the inside with Rock Me Baby. Imanana bar, absolutely fabulous. Neroli Illuminates judged, followed by Portillo, Benicia, and Eskimo Queen out the back.
5 from 5 now for this super filly, Typhoon Tracy by Red Ransom. I tell you what, she was headed by Culminate, who's a Group 1 winning mare in New Zealand. And this little, bonny little filly, Typhoon Tracy for Glenn Boss. And Peter Moody is saying 5th start against the older horses. Typhoon Tracy, a sensational win in the Coolmore.
Yeah, great effort. Really exposed to all the pressure and still able to find something. Pete must be proud of it.
Yeah, Bruce, she's
she's just very exciting. I don't think I've had one like this. I don't think we've seen the bottom. She's just everything's so effortless. She's just a great filly to train. God, it makes my job easy.
You never get carried away where they can win, but you've got her to a Group 1 at a 5th career start. She must be something pretty special.
Oh, the funny thing at home, she's not. She just cruises around. I don't recall her winning a gallop or a jump out in her life. She just goes to the races. She's just all racehorse. She's never had a blow in her life. I've certainly never trained a better athlete. And, she's just she just makes you look good, this filly.
Pretty scary, isn't she? Caroline?
Yes, look, it was just very emotional there. You can see Pete Moody. We'll have a look at this head on there of the English Interims on your screen for you.
Well, it's for them. Weight 51. 51 is a lot for many, but not for G-Boss. Glenn, you love them, don't you, these big races like this?
Oh, getting down to 51 to ride a mare, a filly like this is an absolute pleasure, to be honest. I'm just so thankful to Peter Moody to throw the hat at my way to give me the Guernsey to ride her again. And when I rode her at Caulfield, I'm not sure who I spoke. It might have been you that day, I'm not sure, but I just said this is Group 1 horse. If I've ever ridden one, this is Group 1 horse. And I just hope I can talk Pete into running her in the Doncaster, because I tell you, she'll give him something to run around there. Because I always said once she's to a mile, that's when we'll see the best of this mare. And obviously not the mile today, but you can just see what she's capable of.
Talk us around the home bearer with 3-year-old fillies to ridden.
Potentially, she's got the potential to be a superstar. She's untapped at the moment. She's doing it on raw talent, and she's just got a great temperament, great physique.
Then there's a war.
Star. She is 5 starts, 5 wins now. A Group 1 with a 3-year-old filly getting the limit, but proving too good for the older girls. Culminate gave it 5 kilos, ran well. All those from back had no hope. Gallant Test, perhaps best of those. Tail in the tape, 34.27. But in saying that, Rich, you can't deny the asset of a horse who can bounce from a wide gate, lead, stack them up, and then find.
Yeah, you made that point yesterday, Bruce, and it was spot on. She showed her versatility. She bounced from the gates, quickly mustered speed, and when she got to the front, well, it was evident a long way from home, Mark, it was going to be that the first two were going to fight it out, because they'd absolutely crawled out in front.
Yeah, they cantered, didn't they? And she had the lightweight. But a good effort, because she still didn't handle the Sydney way of going. As you can see there, she didn't come round the corner all that well, and she didn't get balanced up until probably the last 100 metres, which when she came back after being headed. So very good effort.
See Boss there, padded whip, pulls through left hand. Oliver trying to get the best out with his style. We'll discuss that later, of course, with Rich. But Typhoon Tracy, Glenn Boss keen to try and push on to get Peter Moody to run this filly in the Doncaster.
Yeah, look, she's a lovely filly. And look, I think it was made probably a shade easier yesterday when Hot Danish didn't run. I think probably Hot Danish goes forward, but there's no use talking about she wasn't there. I think the Doncaster would be a different story. But look, Boss would know. He's ridden plenty of Group 1 winners, and for the rest of the bit, I thought Pavana was good. I thought Gallant Test was very good. And even Neroli, Neroli, Mark, I thought her effort was good to get home.
Yeah, I think Pravana of the back markers, like pace was against her. She came along the fence, which probably looked a little bit inferior there. I think she's probably the one to follow. Maybe not a group race, but she might be able to pick a listed race up.
Look, I'm the first. She won't go to the Don. She certainly won't go to the Doncaster, and hasn't got the maturity to handle that type of racing. Listen, she could be back here in 2 weeks in the Queen of the Turf. We'll just assess the condition between now and then.
That interview courtesy of...
About the 200-metre mark, she flicked onto a Sydney leg, and that's when she took control of the race again. Could you feel a difference in her balance when she did that?
Yeah, certainly. That's about the point where I put the stick away. Like, I give her a couple of light ones down the shoulder. Like, she was always trying her best.
Now, we just watch her here, but you see she's still on a Melbourne leg here. She's still on a Melbourne leg. We'll see that mark come up there. And you watch, she flicks there, and then she's on a Sydney leg.
And that's about where I put the stick away, just after, because I felt her balance up again, and got on that fresh leg, and she really quickened that last 200 metres.
And strong on the line.
Yeah, look, I said to when I rode this filly at Caulfield, Alf, I got off and I said, can't wait till this thing gets to a mile. It's a genuine Group 1 horse, without a doubt. Obviously, she's got there.
Sitting here, nodding your head, agreeing with everybody. What did you say about it last week?
I said Hot Danish should kick her brains in.
No, I think we can just replay what you said last week.
I said Hot Danish.
Have we got that tape there? I think we should roll that tape and just see what Ronnie did say.
Is that why you were in early this morning? Bring her to Sydney for the Coolmore Classic and take on Hot Danish and Judge and see how good she is.
Enormous ability, that horse.
Well, blind Freddie can tell you that. She's
trying to run her down.
I'm just trying to take a little bit of hype off her.
Why?
Because I don't think she deserves the big hype to being the big Group 1 Coolmore Classic favourite.
Really, Ronnie.
I have to concede. The hardest horse to read is the unbeaten horse. They're the hardest horses to read.
And it's not.
I got it wrong. I can admit it. My name's Duffersy, not Freeman. I can admit when I get something wrong.
That'll do me. That will do me. You admitting you're wrong. You got that wrong.
I got it wrong. She's a good filly.
Hey, Ronnie, the Melbourne horses are going pretty well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going very well, Alf. And it hasn't stopped yet. It hasn't stopped yet.
Do you know how that him to say that?
No.
Just killing him.
And saying that she would have got her ass up. She would have got a backside kicked if the other filly would have, the top weight would have run.
Oh, that's all you've got left. That's all I've got left.
I'm sure that's everything.
Look, hang on. We'll hold a bit. Who begot you? This is he's one more run in a fortnight, then to the Doncaster. Look out. One Who Begot You, Four Hearted Dreams, Dewporth. I really can't see any outside of those three getting the bickies. I can concede Fully Fledged. But he's solid favourite. Number 2, Dewporth has been $10 into $8.50. Von Costa's 14 into 12. Heart of Dreams $4.40 into $4.20 into $4. Predatory Pride at 21. Barchia Moore 100 off 81 to 51. Emperor Bonaparte $31. Rollings 101. Alcolo Vol. They've come for Heart of Dreams $4.20 into $3.07.
Costa de Hero walked out of the stalls, missed it by 2 lengths. Emperor Bonaparte jumped well. Rollins an emotional outburst are up there in the early stages, and Dewporth is not all that far away. He's going to settle up with those leaders, followed by Predatory Pricer. Then came Fully Fledged. Heart of Dream to go up and take the running now. 800 to go. It's Fully Fledged by a length on emotional outburst. Emperor Bonaparte following the leader forward. It goes up to 3rd, and then came Predatory Pricer 4th. Dewporth was next. Oh, there's trouble. Emperor Bonaparte may have been galloped on there, and he's dropped out very quickly. Then came El Quello Veloce, followed by Heart of Dreams. Rollins was next, followed by Dubai to Sydney, and then came back off. Who Begot You still giving the leaders a big start around the home turn with Von Costa to Hero. It's emotional outburst on the outside and Fully Fledged. They lead from Predatory Pricer. Then Il Quello Veloce, followed by Dewporth. Heart of Dreams is labouring. Who Begot You coming right down the outside, but Fully Fledged, the Kiwi, raced away. He's a couple of lengths in front. Heart of Dreams and Who Begot You are starting to come now. Heart of Dreams is lifting. He's coming after Fully Fledged. Who Begot You drives on the outside. Heart of Dreams, I thought he was struggling, but he came back to win it. Heart of Dreams won it from Who Begot You. Predatory Pricer 3rd, then Fully Fledged, Il Quello Veloce. Emotional Outburst was next, and then came Dewporth from Dubai to Sydney. Barchia Moore back off Rollins and Von Costa to Hero.
3 very good 3-year-olds there. Heart of Dreams, the Australian Guineas winner, the Cadbury Guineas winner, he's done it again. Who Begot You got going late as well, and he looks as if he might have been the winner. And Predatory Prize were at one stage halfway up the straight. He was looming too, but it's Heart of Dreams for Damien Oliver that has taken out the Far Lap Stakes here on this great day of racing at Rosehill, Richard.
Yeah, Caroline, we're going to have to watch the replay again because I don't know about Heart of Dreams, but I was watching Who Begot You. I'd say when Emperor Bonaparte went amiss, I'd say the way the race panned, it cost Who Begot You somewhere between 2.5 and 4 lengths. His effort has been unbelievable. He had to make...
Now pressing on throughout this carnival. He's already got the Australian Guineas, Cadbury Guineas behind him. Looking forward to the future here.
Yeah, no, winning the Group 1 Cadbury Guineas was obviously...
Pricer 3rd.
He adds the Far Lap to his Guinea success. We'll touch on Who Begot You shortly. Outstanding in defeat. May not happen again this autumn. Predatory Price around well. Heart of Dreams, you can't ignore the fact that he kept out of trouble and kept going and won, giving Mick Price a fantastic day. More on that later. We'll get to Who Begot You shortly. But just on the winner, Rich, Heart of Dreams, he's a real pro and he loves a challenge.
Look, a great effort. He won the Cadbury Guineas last start. And, look, that interference, I've got no doubt in the world. It cost the second horse the race. The first 6 horses just got an extra 3 lengths break. And Who Begot You, first go in Sydney. Oh, boy, I think he's going to be the star of maybe the rider, maybe the Doncaster Who Begot You. His run was unbelievable.
Corey Brown suspended there, Fully Fledged, copping interference. But let's go back to this incident. This is Emperor Bonaparte now going on, and Nash believed, as Mark said in his call, may have been galloped on. But there it is there, and this is what the backwash looks like, Rich.
Yeah, he's going back through the fields, and of course they all couldn't see him until they fanned, and then you're right on top of him. And they see the first 6. They just found 3 lengths, Mark, and the others, well, they were back off the bit chasing again.
Yeah, the field broke up entirely, didn't it? As you said, the first half dozen got right away when the incident occurred, and Who Begot You next minute has got to give away an extra couple of lengths to Heart of Dreams. By the time he got to him, his run had ended, and he's only second up.
What's that? How lucky?
Damien Oliver, and that's why he's one of the best. He reacted in at
I was just gonna
0.0111. He switched, came straight inside and saved.
Gotcha came with him. I mean, he had the fight. He did. It was a fair and square win, wasn't it?
Yeah, I could hear him breathing down my neck there late, but this bloke fought him off well.
I know you like to place your horses for the trainers if you can. Where would you like to see him run?
I'll leave it up to Mick, mate. He knows what he's doing.
Because you've got to ride for the Doncaster, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm locked in with All Silent. Happy to be on him. He's come back great, but this horse is going to be a chance whatever he runs in.
Well, he's going to run in the George Ryder. Mick's going to have Lot Fantastic, Alamosa, Pompey, Ruler, and Harley Dreams. What a season he's having. Terrific trainer, Mick, and we'll touch on that later with his performance.
What about the George Ryder? Well,
we've run for third.
Yeah, look, he did a good job, Heart of Dreams, but he's up and running. He's at the top of his game. He's at his peak, and he's holding his peak. This is the run of the day by a long, long way, the second horse. He got in about mid-race trouble when that horse broke down up near the lead there, Emperor Bonaparte, and he just seemed to lose his spot there. And to make up the ground here from the turn on, being only second up with improvement up the sleeve, he's right in the Doncaster.
Well, 3-year-olds have a pretty good record in the Doncaster over the long period of time, and these two, the way they race, the way they can sustain quite long runs, you have to think there'll be plenty of pace in the Doncaster. The leaders will be folding up in the straight. You'll be looking for to swoop on them, and these two will both do that. So I'd have them right there.
Yeah. I think the timing's with the second horse, in my opinion, though. He's just got so much upside to him. The third horse here, Predatory Pricer, he's ticking along nicely for the Derby. Blinkers went on yesterday, and he showed that he's still on track, but I'm all over Who Begot You there.
Race. All right. Now let's have a look at the market on the Doncaster. And All Silent is the favourite, just ahead of Who Begot You. Hot Danish at $8. Forensics Run, which we pointed out yesterday, terrific performance.
You could see
great.
You could see in the top 8 there. You could see any of them winning it.
Forensics for Brisbane. It's not a certainty she'll run in the miles.
Okay. Just box the 3 favourites there. You'll get the trifecta.
Okay.
All Silent, Who Begot You, Hot Danish. That's your try.
Just ahead of Who Begot You. Hot Danish at $8. Forensics Run, which we pointed out yesterday, terrific performance.
You could see
great.
You could see in the top 8 there. You could see any of them winning it.
Forensics for Brisbane. It's not a certainty she'll run in the miles.
Okay.
Just box the 3 favourites there. You'll get the trifecta.
Okay.
All Silent, Who Begot You, Hot Danish. That's your try.
It's a no-brainer.
Should it